For real? Oh, no. Chris! Let's go!
Boston
State of OH! Today. In Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000. USA! USA! USA!
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this NFL Week 12 kickoff Thursday, November 20th, 2025. This sports program begins now. Football is magical, and Week 12 of the NFL season is kicking off in the AFC South as the Houston Texans host the Buffalo Bills. Now, Dougie Davis-Mills will be the quarterback for the Houston Texans. He's out of Stanford. He's been in the league a long time. We've been talking about Dougie Davis-Mills so long that we actually just call him Dougie because that's how much we talked about him. Dougie got a lot of playing time throughout his career in Houston. Very experienced guy. We've talked about these quarterbacks have experience and at least understanding how to operate an offense, because whenever a backup quarterback gets dropped into a game, it is a nightmare situation. The team is not prepared for you to be the quarterback. You've gotten no reps with anybody, and you've been sitting for two and a half hours. Now it's your time. Now, I'm not saying that's what he's been doing here for the last couple of weeks here since C.J. Stroud got the concussion, but I'm just saying that is a backup quarterback's life. So how good you have to be a quarterback, the backup quarterback position is a big deal, and Dougie has been a guy, I think, that whenever they needed him to step up and play some ball, he's been able to play some pretty good ball for the Houston Texans. Now, he's taking on a Buffalo Bills defense tonight. Now, this Buffalo Bills defense has certainly been talked about in a big way because that big guy on the graphic right there with the white helmet, he's the MVP, and he just came off a record-breaking weekend. Yeah. He did something only he has done one other time. And Otto Graham in 1954 has done since 1950. So he is special, that big one there. Can he win a Super Bowl with the defense that they have? Well, the defense can't really stop the run that good. Okay, so they can't stop the run. But pass defense, very good. Pass defense, second. Okay, so secondary seems like pretty damn good. Front seven, being able to stop the run, haven't been able to do it. Now, they say, and if you listen to J.J. Watt, whenever he was calling the game, he said he talked to McDermott about it, and I actually thought to myself, well, J.J. in these production meetings probably good. Like, J.J. asking real questions, and I think everybody in NFL, not that this hasn't happened before, I'm not knocking it, but whenever it comes to the Buffalo Bills conversation, I assume McDermott has a lot of respect for J.J. So whenever J.J. says, like, hey, why is your run defense ass, which is basically what J.J. Watt said to McDermott. He said, well, we thought it was kind of gap stuff that we weren't really at, and then it got down to, like, the tackling, and then we needed to be better tacklers. So they think they got the gap thing down a little bit. Now, they still have been giving up, okay? They still have been giving up. But tackling is a mentality. And it feels like if they're able to turn that on with how talented they have been on the back end in the pass defense, this Buffalo Bills defense maybe can be one that can get there. They just haven't shown it. Do the Houston Texans as 6-point underdogs on one particular sportsbook?
Wow.
A lot of points.
5.5 points on every other sportsbook. But you can get the Houston Texans right now and 6 points to kick this thing off against the Buffalo Bills off of a historic weekend, okay? In Houston. Now,
place to play.
I have been on the record as saying this, and I know not a lot of people think this because the Houston Texans are the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, though, whenever C.J. Stroud was a rookie, maybe, and then it's kind of, not continued to happen there. But whenever I played for the Indianapolis Colts, and by play, I mean kicked balls for the Indianapolis Colts, we had to play in Houston every single day. It was during the JJ.
Oh, man. Nightmare.
It was, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, every time he's jumping up on eight.
Yeah.
You open a program, they leave a program on the locker room at every single locker before the game, and you get there early, you just kind of, you're forced to read it almost. Like you look through it. J.J. Watt with the local car dealership. Sure. Turn a corner. J.J. Watt can sell you headstones if anybody dies.
Beautiful, I bet.
Boom.
Yes. J.J. Watt, bloody nose.
Yeah, but that's also selling the ear, nose, throat.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Here in town, who's a
genius.
I mean, he was, during commercial timeouts, they have like ads run on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
JJ was representing some
Every
steak
single
house.
one of them.
JJ, I mean, it was, and every time got a pop. And every time there was an opportunity and a chance, he was going to just take over the game. And every time it was seemingly for like the AFC South. It was like a big time. So it was normally Thursday nights we were playing, normally primetime games when we were playing down there. And that place was the loudest place that I had played in. Now, I did not play in Seattle. I had a chance to experience Seattle a couple of years back. It is certainly loud. I'm not saying it is not loud. But the place that I played at every single year was the loudest that I have ever heard a stadium. That was one of those places where your ears like actually kind of hurt once you walk out of there. So I assume tonight should be a great atmosphere. Now, it's much different than when JJ was on every single page and everything like that. And when that team was obviously humming and doing their thing. So I have no idea what we're going to get, but I do know that if the Texans are ever able to figure out how to get on track, which they have the number one defense in the league, D'Amico Ryans, everybody loves him. C.J. Stroud was supposed to be a guy. If the Houston Texans can ever get going, it's like that would be a powerhouse down there. Especially with how big that city is.
Yeah.
People forget Houston's top 5 city when it comes to population in the United States of America. It's like that place loves ball. That place could be great. And tonight there's a chance that they make a massive statement as 6-point dogs on Thursday Night Football. It'll be on Amazon.
Okay.
We obviously love the prime telecast. We'll be having Kirk Herbstreit join us in about 10 minutes. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tony's here. And I'm realizing you opened the box that we got sent to the Thunderdome and put the hoodie on because that hoodie looks like no hoodie that I've ever seen before. And I opened that box this morning and I said, wow, this seems like the hoodie just has no opening. So that's what it looks like on. Is what I'm realizing. That looks very cool. That's a super. The things that Bruce is showing me on the screen down here do not need it. I mean, it is
high fashion.
I didn't know that potentially does look exactly like that. I was not thinking like that. I think you look awesome right now.
Thank you.
I think you look immaculate.
Thank you.
Is that because you feel good on how you're seeing the game tonight? 6-point spread at one particular sports book, 5.5 everywhere else. What's the percentage of money on who, and what can we take from that?
Yeah, 77% of the money tonight, or 78 at one point, was on the Buffalo Bills. It's down to 77 now. Obviously, you said it's 6 at ESPN, 5.5 at every other sports book right now. Earlier in the season.
So
that might be,
maybe that was an issue.
This might be a part.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Could have been the issue.
11 more days.
Jeez.
Earlier in the season, it was all dogs on primetime and all dogs on Thursday night. But as of late, the favorites have had their way a bit. But this one it's a heavyweight fight tonight. You've talked about the Texans defense and the Bills offense. They're basically both top 5 in literally every single category. So that side of the ball is going to be awesome tonight. And then it's how much do you believe in the Bills defense and how much do you believe in the Houston Texans offense? Davis Mills, I just looked it up. He has thrown for in his 2 starts, 292 and 274 with about 62.5% completion percentage. So he's been good. So there's a chance the Texans can move the ball tonight. They aren't the best rushing team in the NFL, but I think we're in for a heavyweight bout, at least on one side of the ball.
What did Herbstreit do talking about Iowa, Oregon?
He did.
Don't tell anybody. Keep it down amongst the friends here. This one feels like Houston tonight, covering 6. I'm almost too confident. I don't like where I'm at. I've almost started to fade myself already this morning because of how confident I was. Houston Texans +6. Then he starts rattling off stats. 292, 260 something.
Yeah.
He's been good, 270 something. And then you think about Chubb, right?
Oh, yeah.
They got Chubb.
Sure.
They got Chubber.
Yeah.
I've seen him.
Yeah, the big Chubb.
I've seen him. I've seen him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've seen it out there.
Nico Collins is pretty good.
6 points, a lot of points, especially with how that Buffalo Bills defense is. But then you think about what J.J. Watt said about Sean McDermott, saying we'll turn the tackling up. We'll get better at that. And it's like, yeah, they will. Maybe this Buffalo Bills team tonight wins by 30. Maybe this Buffalo Bills team, fresh off a historic weekend, a record-breaking weekend for the MVP. 6 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 3 through the sky. Josh Allen's Josh Allen. This is the MVP. This is who we have come to love and to come to expect. And he still loves the game. Yeah. I mean, this dude's celebrating every single time. The boy's still leading the group. He's having the boys over at the house. Josh Allen, the perfect NFL quarterback. Every other team is looking for a Josh Allen. Now, what does it take to be a Josh Allen? You got to be gigantic. You got to be able to throw the ball 100 yards, actually be able to do that. You got to have a work ethic as if you came from a ranch. And you got to have an attitude that is like perfect for ball. You know, jovial, have a good time, but also voted the biggest shit talker in the entire NFL. It's like this dude is what everybody's looking for. Okay, that is 100% true. So maybe tonight the defense turns it on and the Buffalo Bills say, we are exactly who we were supposed to be coming into this season. Or the trend continues for Josh at NRG Stadium. Have you seen this? Have you seen it?
We have trends.
Hembo stat. Please pull it up. Josh Allen career at NRG Stadium, including the playoffs.
Wow.
0-3.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it's the air. I don't know if it's the stakes that are right outside. 46.9 QBR. That's not good. That's not Josh Allen. 46% completion percentage. Are those always right next to each other? Completion percentage and QBR? Do we know?
No idea.
What goes into the R1 down here?
So many things.
It's only out of 100. I know that because somebody told me somebody's QBR the other day, and I said, quick, need a denominator. Is that with the 100 one or the 127.4 one or the 150 one? It's the 100. The QBR
Yeah.
one. I would like to let people know I like the QBR one the most. It's out of 100.
I think that makes the
Agreed.
most sense.
Yes, it does.
The ones that grandstand and can't act like they can't get the 24.2 points down to 100 so that we can all understand what the grading system is, as opposed to doing, well, 24 of 100 is a quarter. So if it's an 80, we got to add a quarter difference onto that. So it's actually, is that a B rating or is that a, what the hell is that score?
Yeah, the passer rating, 153.8 or whatever it is.
Bingo.
That's the one.
So then you start doing the math. Well, what's a 110? That's 43 under good, but it's above 100. It's a thirds, I think. So it's like a 7. What you start doing the math. QBR, they made it 100. That's my favorite one.
Yep.
This one that Josh Allen has at NRG Stadium, not good. Okay, he has been great basically everywhere. NRG Stadium, which has had multiple names down in Houston, he has not been fantastic. I'm excited to see how tonight goes. There's so many things we can pull from to make ourselves feel justified. 77% of the money now is on the Buffalo Bills, -5.5 or -6, whatever the case is. And this is the first time I've ever been this like.
It's a layup.
23% is an absolute.
Yeah.
Layup. And then you start thinking like that, and then all of a sudden another stat pops out from NFL and Prime folks are like, hey, just a heads up, whenever dude's on Thursday nights, never loses.
Did Hembo Hebekaitis said that one, or is he trying to tell a story one way?
It is interesting what story the stats tell from the perspective of the statistician,
Yes.
you know, because it does feel like we can find stats for both sides of everything. We'll hear some stat that makes us go, just like we said. And then somebody will come back with the opposite. I'm like, wait, I thought there was a majority on this side that said this. How is there a majority on this side that says this? Well, there's 2 different focus groups that we get the numbers from, but also there's 2 different questions and sets of answers that there could potentially be. So now we got a majority on both sides. Well, how? So what's the purpose here? What is it? No, they help your argument. And it's like, well, I need one to pick a Thursday night football game.
Exactly.
Okay. Josh Allen, really good on Thursdays. Not good at energy. Which one means more? Which one means more? Which one means more? You know?
Unstoppable force means an immovable object.
Yeah.
Can't really run the greatest. They're not good at all against the run. He can throw. They're great at stopping it. Does that just completely mean the Buffalo Bills defense dominates the Houston Texans tonight because their worst part is they're also not the best part? I mean, you know, there's so many.
2 of the Bills' losses, 2 of the best defenses they played, Atlanta and New England, they scored 14 and 20. So,
Can Dougie Mills get to 21? That's the question we'll be asking all day. Let's go around the NFL a little bit, shall we? J.J. McCarthy chit-chatted about what life is like now that he is a starting quarterback in the NFL and what the expectations are now of his game.
Coming in here, I was taught how to play quarterback in a very different way, and that's, expected going into the league, going into any new team, any new system. But at the end of the day, it was really just the injuries that I felt like, kind of took away all those reps and the constant repetition to make those a habit and make them concrete like KO talks about. But, I feel like, it's just the repetitions. How many times could I go home and every time I take the dogs out, I'm getting, 10 drops each time. Little things like that where you just keep building the reps.
I like stealing reps. Now, I was a guy that would do a wall sit somewhere, like an ass. Like if we're out somewhere,
Sure.
Let me go steal a wall sit.
Sure.
Let me go get a minute. Let me get 2 minutes. Now, I used to be a public pass set guy as well. And I did that mostly whenever A.Q. Shipley was in my life. And I think that was because I was trying to showcase to him that he can get extra reps publicly as well. I like anytime somebody's stealing reps. Now, what a lot of people are taking from that, I think, is, hey, he needs to work on a lot of stuff all of a sudden. He's already in the NFL. He's in his second year. What's the entire angle here? And what's the end game of changing up your entire swing once you make it to the PGA? And it's like, well, we've seen guys in the past have to change the way they throw and change the way they operate in the pocket. And we're just chatting about the guy who's playing tonight. Josh Allen was one of the most raw, talented humans that I think the NFL's ever seen. I think that would be an easy sentiment. There was things in highlights of him, his rookie year, jumping over, like not somebody diving at his waist. This person was meaning to helmet tackle him. And he jumped over this guy's head in the middle of a game. And then he would go to throw it, and boy, it was in the stands. Nobody's near where that is. So it was like, it was its own experience.
It was.
It was its own experience. And then the next year he showed up and wait a minute. Those balls aren't in the stands anymore. They're kind of a little bit closer. Then the third year he shows up and it's like, bang, we get Stephon Diggs over here. We get another deep option and also pinpoint target, bang, bang, bang. So everybody kind of points to the Josh Allen story because where he was his rookie year versus where he is now, let alone where he was year 4, year 5, is what everybody hopes whenever their guy maybe doesn't fit the NFL football style early enough. Joining us now is a man who has, I hope, literally maybe the most sane answer about this all. This guy watched JJ at Michigan, told us JJ has everything that you would possibly want to be an NFL quarterback. Now he's hearing that JJ McCarthy is having to change some things up mid-season here in his second year. Excited to hear what his thoughts are on how JJ will attack this and if he'll be Josh Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah, Kirk.
Kirk, it feels like you're the right guy to ask this to and about. I don't know if you got to hear the soundbite, which is why I was trying to re-summarize it for you there as I was asking you the question. JJ McCarthy had a press conference where he chit-chatted about how changing his drops, changing his throw. People are basically saying, hey, he's changing the quarterback that he is here, middle of his second year. He also mentioned because of the injury, I didn't get all the reps my rookie year and also rookie offseason. So what do you think this means for JJ long-term? And is he Josh Allen? Is there another Josh Allen on the way where development is about to be crazy? Because we're seeing JJ miss, some balls that I don't know if we all expected. I certainly did not, Kirk.
I agree with you. I don't know if the Josh Allen trajectory and what he's been able to do is kind of a unicorn. I mean, he's such a rare commodity. Looking forward to seeing him tonight. But I think how many starts does J.J. McCarthy have? 5 or 6 starts in his career at this point. I think in a year where we've seen Daniel Jones and Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold all kind of get things, kind of resurrect their careers and get in the right spot. I just think it's very premature, whether it's a guy like J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix or whoever it might be, to look at them and evaluate them and make a declaration that this guy's trash or this guy's doesn't have what it takes. I'm not saying that you guys are saying that at all, but I know there are people out there because we are, as a world of consuming sports, especially at that position, we want results right now. What have you done for me last week? What did you do against Baltimore? What did you do against Chicago? And if like this week, if he goes out and balls, and people will be like, "Oh, he figured it out this week." It's not like that. I think the injury last year set him back. Just getting reps, just being around. Even this year, there were times when he wasn't able to get a lot of reps, Monday through Friday. So that's going to slow down your development. I was surprised. I don't know if he's going to rephrase that next time he talks publicly with the media about, I'm learning how to play quarterback totally different from what I knew in the past. I mean, he was pretty effective at Michigan. Now, let's remember the kind of quarterback he was at Michigan. He was not a quarterback like you see in some of these systems that run some form of a spread, and the quarterback does everything. He's throwing it 50 times. They go as he goes. This was an offense in college that ran the football. They were in 12 and 13 personnel. They were in 22. They ran the ball and set him up to do play action, and he did it really, really well. I think when
There it is. Yeah, right there.
100%. The one thing that I always thought is the marriage. I thought with he and KO, I just thought the scheme very similar. I thought KO could kind of adjust this scheme to his skill set, and I still think that. And I think as they progress and get better, it's funny. We were at dinner last night, and Sherm asked me if I'm out on J.J. McCarthy. We were walking back to the hotel. I was like, are you out? He's like, I don't like what I'm seeing. And he's like, I wouldn't be surprised maybe if maybe they wouldn't get like a Mac Jones or somebody else, because it's really hard, to watch a guy develop when you're trying to compete in the NFC North.
They made this decision, though, Kirk. Like you mentioned Daniel Jones there, whenever you're saying the resurgence in the second year because you let somebody develop. But, like, Daniel Jones was in their building last year. Now, they made an offer for Daniel Jones to remain. I think the Colts did not offer as much, but certainly told him, like, hey, you could be the starter here, no problem going forward. Then Sam Darnold, the success that he's having. I think Aaron Rodgers wanted to play there. And what Kevin O'Connell's been able to do, to your point, everything you're saying, is, like, he's been able to win. So they were playing for the number one in the NFC last year, the last week of the year last year. So I think it's natural that everybody's thoughts are like the team is ready to go. You got Addison, you got Justin Jefferson.
I mean, look at the pieces around him. I mean,
that's
you got
a lot of pressure to play good now, though. I think like that was kind of building from all the decisions that made before. Now, let's go back. We talk about how good of a coach Kevin O'Connell is. This is J.J. McCarthy literally talking about quarterback development right now. You know, like that is what he is saying. Like he's having me work on this. He's having me work on that. That's like development. That is actual coaching. That's happening, hopefully, at a team near you. You know, you would hope. So I don't know. Them making my entire thought on is all those decisions they made. I think they thought JJ was going to be good now.
I think I look at him almost as a rookie. You know, and I mean, look at Caleb last year. I think there are a lot of people that are like, this guy's trash. Get rid of this guy. He's terrible.
Valid.
You know, and then they went out and got Ben Johnson, and he got more reps. Game slowing down. He's starting to make better decisions.
Have you been eating vitamin C? Have you been taking vitamin C?
I need vitamin C.
It's too late. You already lost.
Yeah, you're done.
You should have been C'd up, bro. Hey, how long have we been C'd up in here? Actually,
since October.
August.
Hey, we actually we're not a big like, hey, let's think months in advance type.
I've already lost the battle.
Oh yeah,
Sounds
you're done.
like it, yeah.
You're done.
Sounds like it. And I don't want to. But we've been
I've been battling my voice for 3 or 4 weeks now.
C'd up, bro. You need to be C'd up. You need to start. That's what we do every morning. There's actually somebody that delivers the C, you know, around. Like, hey, here we go. Can't have anybody doing the whole.
What brand on the C are you guys going with?
We're looking for the pure C out there. Yeah. If you have good, pure vitamin C, from our understanding, it is good for fall, especially if you're in a position where you have to speak a lot and there's a guaranteed allergy or something going to hit everybody's this area, you know.
How about last week? We were in Athens. And Todd Graves and Luke Bryan were having a little house party. We were getting ready to call the game, and my voice was like this. And I go over there with Peter. They wanted to say hi to Peter.
Of course.
I go over there, and people are, you know, tailgating, having a good time. And I'm talking the way I'm talking right now. And Luke's like, "What's wrong with your voice?" And I go, "Man, it's just that time of the year, you know, traveling." He's like, "Man," he's like, "I got something in the house." He's like, "You got to take this." And I forget what it was called, but he's like, "Here, you got inflammation." He's like, "This will help you out." Runs into the house, comes out with this bottle, and this is how much I trust Luke. I had no idea what it was.
Immediately.
And Todd's like, "You sure this isn't going to affect his mind? You know, he's got to go call Texas, Georgia in a couple hours." And Luke's saying, "No, he'll be fine. It'll just help his voice." So I rolled the dice and took it. But I have no idea what I took. But it didn't affect my mind. But
I would
helped my
have been
voice.
sick, man, if it would have been like DMT stuff somehow. That would make sure. Imagine you're.
But he said he
don't even know
uses
what
it
that
on
means.
stage. When you get on stage, you'll be doing this too. But I
You need to watch it. You need to watch it. There is something on the way. Up to Something season is currently in full bloom. But on that note, I've talked to a bunch of those guys, and they have a bunch of shit. There's like a vaporizer thing with some stuff that helps, because that's obviously their livelihood, you know, and they're doing a lot of traveling. Yeah. But for us, I think in the fall, I think in this weather, it's a guarantee.
I got to start taking my C. I got to get on the team. Even Connor's doing it.
Oh yeah,
he's one of the drivers.
What the hell is that supposed to mean, Herbie? Let's not get this started. You don't want me today, Herbie. You don't want this.
Hey, Connor, what did you think of I know you guys tune in to Cam all the time on his takes. What do you think of what Cam had to say there about the quarterback that I love and this Patriots team that I love with Braves?
I mean, what he said today, I think he's not too far off. Like, can you really say you trust Drake May more than Patrick Mahomes right now in the playoffs? Like,
no, fool's goal. I don't mean that. I thought he called him fool's goal.
Oh yeah, he said that originally, but even that, I'm not sure. I don't put too much stake in those shows just because we all kind of know how they work behind the scenes. So that entire thing is not something I
What's
really
that?
even.
I don't know what that.
Well, you know, one person
that.
wants to say one thing, and not everybody can say the same thing, even though one thing would be right. So the other person's going to go the other way for the debate itself. But I don't put too much stake in it.
We would like to say we do not know if that's 100% their gimmick. We are saying that it's weird that it finds the microphone the person who disagrees with the other person on a regular basis.
Yeah, this is not factual. This is just based on how the show has gone for the last 10 years. All those types of shows, typically it's one side versus the other. Now, I don't know if Cam Newton truly feels that way. I do know Drake May grew up a massive Cam Newton Carolina Panthers fan, so it would be weird for him to take that stance from a young quarterback who loves him, who also did an ode to him versus the Panthers when he scored a rushing touchdown and did Cam Newton celebration. So there's a lot of things that go into that thought.
We just hope they move along this entire thing.
Yeah, but he has to prove it. Like, no matter what, either way, whatever the schedule is, you got to win the biggest games in the playoffs when that comes down the road.
Yeah, Drake's still very young. Obviously, not a lot of big-time football yet because he hasn't had the opportunity, just literally hasn't had the opportunity to be there. We're all excited to watch it. We all believe in him. And I don't think Drake May took a shot back at Cam Newton.
No.
I think if you pull the quote and write it and just put it out there, it certainly sounds like it's a shot. But what his actual answer and what he was asked, it's not a shot at all. Let's go to a WEEI 93.7 FM.
Yeah. You're familiar with this guy, and he played for the Patriots. Cam Newton said the Patriots are fool's gold. That was his words, not mine. Do you hear those things? Do you react those things? Any comment on that?
Oh no, I don't even. I don't even know what show he's on. I think they get paid to make remarks and make certain comments. So just worried about what people in our organization think and worried about what we think and my teammates think, and everybody's going to have different opinions. So we should go out there on Sunday and worry about ourselves.
Great answer. That was from
Fitzy, and I really apologize. I'm not sure who his co-host
Fitz and
was.
Wit. Fitz and Wit. We appreciate that. Just got pulled up right
okay,
here.
Boom. Yes. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Fitz and Wit is.
I don't think that was a shot at all.
No, it wasn't.
That wasn't a shot.
He was asked if he heard it. Go ahead.
I think he was just basically saying, I don't know what show I'm in the film room. I don't know what show he's on. I'm just worried about the guys in the facility, this organization. We're just trying to win games. I think he just went into kind of that Bull Durham quotes. I think he was. I didn't take that. I really didn't take anything there.
Me neither, but if you pull it and you put it up there and say, I don't even know what show he's on, that is certainly, if you potentially put it out there, it's Drake May saying, who said what? Yeah. I don't even know what show he's on. But instead
love
he was.
The uni. Love that uni. I love that uni.
Hey, we love everything they're doing. We actually kind of hate how much we love everything that the New England Patriots are doing. It's kind of a tough pill to swallow at this stage of life in football fandom.
Yeah, but even to your point about pulling the quote, sorry, Kirk, my bad, real quick, he also called Stephon Diggs a diva in jest. And if you were to pull that quote, of course, and you read it, it's like, oh, what? He's calling his, number one wide receiver a diva, but like he's just joking. And yes, I guess it's kind of weird if your starting quarterback isn't watching ESPN every day from 10 to 12, but Drake May is a 23-year-old kid. All he knows is what Vrabel is teaching him. And what do you think Vrabel's saying? Like, hey, yeah, you should be listening to what everybody's talking about you. Or do you think Vrabel's saying, hey, if you're listening to anything outside this building, you probably don't belong in the building to begin with.
Well, and also, if you are listening to things outside this building, when you were speaking to the media, you were telling them you are not. I think that is certainly a part of it. And I think you were about to say something about the Patriots.
I was just going to say two things. Number one, about Drake May, probably the nicest human being I've ever covered. He's got 3 older brothers. They all love to kind of bust each other's chops. And so if he does something, if he says, like, hey, I don't even know what show he's on, I don't think that was taken anything more than just trying to kind of spin it towards, we're focused right here on what we're trying to do. He's entitled to his opinion. We're just trying to win games. But I do think, can you find more talented teams, more experienced teams on rosters? Absolutely. But as we know, this is a team game. And right now you have a team, a mix of old with young, that are having a lot of fun playing together. And you know what winning does to a team. And some of these games, Connor, if they would have lost some of these games earlier in the year, you start stacking wins. Think about how their season started. and think about where they are now 11 weeks into this thing. I just think this is one of those teams that looks forward to going over to the facility, looks forward to practice, looks forward to the meeting rooms. It's incredible what good karma and what good kind of that mojo that you try to create.
Culture.
And right now, this team has it. How far it'll take them, who knows? Are they fool's gold? Who knows? They haven't played the toughest schedule. But I'll tell you what, the more they believe in each other and they play for each other, and the more they start to really show that, hey, we can win some of these games, they're going to be a tough out as we go down the rest of the way.
One of the MVP favorites is the quarterback. So, yes, you can win any game with that. Like that's kind of the conversation.
And to the fool's gold thing, I think the perfect encapsulation would be you can argue the two best wins for most teams this season. One would be Patriots in Buffalo in primetime in the last night game at Highmark Stadium when they were wearing their new uniforms like you're seeing in New England, and they beat the Bills. And then you can argue Todd Bowles off a bye on the road in Tampa Bay against Baker Mayfield, who was an MVP candidate before he played the New England Patriots defense. So the fool's gold, yeah, that's asinine. But aside from that, the other thing to talk about too, Kirk, would be I think it was the last 10 Super Bowl champions each played 8 or more teams who are under 500. So if we want to do the whole schedule sucks thing, we can go back through every single Super Bowl champion schedule over the last 10 years and judge their schedules. But again, people who don't know ball don't realize that when you finish last or second to last in your division, your schedule does actually get easier, and that is what's happened to the Patriots.
That's good. Hold on, Herbie. Hey, how sick of hearing that?
It's just, I'm not even sick of it. It's just one of those things where it's like so many people don't know ball or understand how it works that like you can't answer them all. And it makes sense why football coaches, football players, people who are actually in the game can't even go on the internet just because of how stupid people are on there.
Yeah, the Patriots are a wagon, though. That's all we care about right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and with the Trevion Henderson's become a great story, but Ramondre Stevenson comes back. Boy, they're going to have a 1-2 punch in that backfield. And they've been doing this the last couple of weeks with just Trevion. So when they get healthy, be fun. I think Baltimore on the road, Buffalo, of course, looking for revenge. Those are going to be tough games for them, but they're going to be heavily favored in all the rest of their games. I mean, I think last week, there's a real shock. This team's looking at 13 or 14 wins. You know, whether it's fool's gold or not, they're probably going to be the 1 seed throughout. In my opinion, I know you love Indy. I think New England's going to get home field throughout the AFC playoffs, and we know how important that is when you get to the postseason in that cold weather. With Vrabel as the head coach, came so close to the AFC Championship when he was in Nashville. And I think if he gets that home field throughout, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, Foxborough always incredibly difficult, and their fans very, very good. And you look at their road, they certainly have what seems to be a great path to that. And we got to remember, these are all NFL teams, even the teams that are ass at the end of the season.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, there's a lot of players, though, at the end of the season who are trying to, earn spots in roster spots. So there's a team that is an ass team that is going to catch one of the very good teams towards the end of the season. That's just kind of how it always is. Who is that guy? We have no idea who that guy is. Well, he just earned a job next year somewhere. So that was like a Super Bowl type situation for him. We talk about the Patriots obviously being the team that could potentially be the 1 seed. Let's talk about who they have. The Bengals. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Kirk, it looks like, speaking of ass teams, this Sunday the Patriots play the Bengals, but it looks like the Bengals might be getting back Joe Burrow. He's a full participant at practice yesterday. We'll see what happens today. So they have that on Sunday, and then quick turnaround, and they play again on Thanksgiving. What's your take on that whole situation? Obviously, if you're a Bengals fan, if you are that franchise, he's your franchise guy. He's the face of the franchise. So if he's healthy, he's going to want to play, and you're going to want to see him play. But at 3-7, is there any way they can get into the playoffs? We'll see. But what are you expecting to see from Joe Burrow? Because he can't be so-so. Like, he needs to be last year's MVP Joe Burrow right when he gets back into the game on Sunday. And can their offensive line protect him? We'll see. What do you think about that whole situation?
Yeah, I think anytime. I'm just a fan of growing up as a kid in Southwest Ohio, I'm a fan of the Bengals, but I'm a fan of Joe Burrow. I'm a fan of Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I'm a fan of these great quarterbacks and watching them be healthy and watching them play like you guys and like all NFL fans. So nobody can get into the mind of Joe Burrow. This guy's dealt with so many injuries and very unusual injuries for a quarterback to deal with. You go back to that calf that he had. Of course, he had an ACL in his first years with Cincinnati. Now he's got a turf toe that required surgery. I think for me, I never experienced turf toe. I've talked to Joey Galloway. Pat, I don't know if you ever had it. When you talk to people that had it to the level that Joe's had it, that's a serious injury. And, to be able to put himself back there, I think speaks about the competitive spirit that he has. I mean, the team is sitting there at 3-7. They're easy for people to be like, what's the point? Season's over. Joe's probably looking at like, man, if I get back, we can end up winning out, and we can finish 10-7. We can maybe get a shot as a wild card. I guarantee you that's how his mind thinks. So just his presence, just like, again, you put any of these Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, the presence of Joe Burrow being in that uniform, if he's able to go out there and play, not only impacts the offense and their execution, it impacts the defense. It impacts the guy selling the popcorn. It impacts the state. I mean, everybody is impacted when you bring back a guy like Joe Burrow, and we'll see. I'm shocked. I really didn't know if it was going to be after Thanksgiving. Is he going to wait to see if they're in contention? But not surprising to hear he's full go and he's ready to roll. That dude is as competitive. That's probably his greatest trait, is how competitive he is.
I found it very fascinating because there is, in theory, an argument. Okay, because just like everything seemingly has an argument, which is why it's so hard to get everybody to agree on things these days, it feels like. There is an argument like 3-7, team's not going to win. We all know they can't win. Defense not good enough. Put him back out there. He either re-injures something or gets hurt again. Then you miss next year and the offseason, which is more important. And I get that in theory. If careers were able to just last forever, and like games were pick and choosable on whether or not you wanted to play them, which is not how professional athletes view anything, let alone like Joe Burrow. But it's like ownership definitely wants Joe Burrow out there. How much we paying this guy? Yeah, we would like him out there. Fans definitely want Joe Burrow out there, right? Bengals fans that are going to game at least would like Joey Burrow to be there. It's like, it's an interesting dynamic whenever you're the pillar, highest paid guy, most important guy, and you've been out, but you can come back. It's an interesting convo for the long-term shit.
I totally get that, but I think for him, and I don't want to speak for him, but I've known him, watched him from 2019 on when he to me engineered the best college offense that I've ever seen. But that dude, just like Tom Brady, like I think if Tom Brady were in this situation, I don't think it's about how much money I'm making or the potential of being hurt. It's just the elite guys. It's just the competitive. I need to get out there. I need to do what I do. Not because I owe it to the franchise. I owe it. It's if I feel healthy, this is, I think, how his brain works. If I feel healthy, give me the ball. Let's go play. Like, I think that's how he is. That's kind of like the mindset. His dad was a defensive coordinator at the college level. It's kind of how he was raised. You ever hear him? He gets his ass hammered, and people are like, wait, why don't you get – he's like, I'm a football player. Like, he's a linebacker playing quarterback. That's how he plays the position. And so I haven't really been following how healthy he is or not healthy. But if he's full go in practice, number 9 is going to play. Like, you can't keep him out of the lineup.
9. Welcome back. We're happy for that. I want to let you know. I know there's an argument by people who think they're smarter than the franchise and Joe and everybody saying, hey, we need to think about offseason in next year as opposed to right now. Let's mail it in. But I also understand that, like, the reason why Joey Burrow is because if Joey Burrow could play football, he's going to play football. Like that.
What if he came back and they won 7 in a row and went to the wild card?
And we had those sweet shots of him going in warm-ups.
Is Joe playing defense?
And he's doing one of these.
Yeah.
He's so cool. There's a chance, Dad, defense coordinator.
Yeah.
He probably
plays like a linebacker.
Yeah, he actually told us that whenever we talked to him, whenever he was a young lad, we had a chance to interview him. We were very pumped about it because we obviously watched that season as well alongside everything that was happening in 2019. And like, just my first thing, just like I told Mahomes the other day, whenever we were down there at Texas Tech, I think you heard me. As soon as I see him, hey, need you to stop taking these hits. Okay, need you for the good of football. For the good of football, brother. We need you to stop taking these hits.
We need you.
Everybody else can kind of take these hits. We need you to stop taking these hits. We told Joey Burrow that. I think I was a part of at least more than a few of those with Andrew Luck. They all have the same response. It's like, first of all, I'm giving the hit, and also it's football. Like, hey, this is what football is. And it's like Joey B., Ohio football guy. Can't wait to see him back out there, maybe since he does go on a run. All right, last question here about the game tonight. I know you have stuff going on all day. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Herbie, we know the championship fight tonight is Josh Allen versus the Texans defense, but I wanted to ask you about Davis Mills and what you've seen from him the last 2 weeks, because we've loved him forever whenever he was getting his starts with Coach Dave Culley. And carrying that Texans team. How do you think he does tonight? Because, I mean, he is a big, strong, athletic, great arm quarterback. It's just that he's sitting behind C.J. Stroud. How do you feel about the Texans' offense and Davis Mills tonight going against the Bills?
Tone, interesting. I'm with you, man. There's so many teams. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning about this, the health of these NFL rosters, and the teams that end up making it are the teams typically that are able to stay healthy. And a lot of times, if your starting quarterback goes down, I mean, we just were talking about Joe Burrow. Think about they were searching. I mean, Jake Browning tried to come in and didn't work out. They had to go on the street. They found Flacco, fortunately, to just at least give him something. But your franchise quarterback goes down like C.J. Stroud. What are you going to do? And they're fortunate to have Davis Mills. This will be his, as you guys know, this will be his 29th start. And it's not just like some guy that's back there. I feel like he's almost a guy, and when he looks at himself, he sees a starting quarterback in the NFL. And he's been able to. This is a team that was losing close games, a lot of one-possession games. He started the last couple of weeks while CJ's been down with this concussion. He'll start his third game tonight. They've won 2 in a row with him under center. But you're right. The story, really the matchup with Josh Allen against the best defense right now in the NFL is going to be a great story. But I tell you what, I don't know if you guys have really been watching Buffalo. Teams are running the ball down their throats. And that Oliver injuries really hurt them. Taylor Rapp back at safeties really hurt them. So as much as we're going to be looking at Mills, how will he do? If I'm Houston, I'm testing the interior of that Buffalo defense. I'm running the football. I'm possessing the ball. I'm keeping number 17 and 4 on the sideline as much as I can to try to possess it. And you got to try to set up Davis Mills on some play action. Nico Collins, by the way, as you guys, again, know, one of the better receivers in the NFL. They will try to, if they can get their run game going tonight, they'll try to get Nico Collins isolated one-on-one against these corners from Buffalo to try to hit some big plays. So, I don't know. I like Davis Mills. I think he's a talented guy, and I think Houston's very fortunate with CJ down third week with a concussion.
Yeah,
maybe if it was a Sunday game, maybe he'd be okay. But hopefully he'll be all right the following week. But look, I think Davis Mills will play within the structure of the offense and play well.
Yeah, we love Dougie Davis Mills.
Yeah,
we're a big fan of his. We've been following him closely. Called him the wrong name. Okay, so whenever he first got his start, however long ago it was, called him Doug Mills. Okay, I did. Me.
How'd you go Doug on it?
I saw D Mills.
Yeah,
and I was like,
oh shit,
Doug.
You're just like, the hell with it. I'm going Doug.
Dougie Mills. Doug. Yeah, that was back whenever we were on the internet, you know. So obviously a little bit more wild. And I was like, Doug Mills getting a start here for the Texans.
He said he was good with it though.
So yes, this is how this all came about. So it becomes pretty big clip, obviously because I'm Colts. They're Texans, and, I kicked it on, so I kicked it myself against them in their building on a Thursday night. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's just how
But I respect their fan base. The loudest building I've ever been in whenever I played. I didn't get a chance to go to Seattle and play there, but, like, Houston yearly was the loudest place we were at. It was real. I had a lot of respect for what they were doing down there. So whenever I dropped a Dougie Mills out there, the Houston Texans fans, and he did well, they absolutely attacked me. And then the Texans reached out, and they're like, would you like to talk to Davis Mills? And I'm like, sure. Sure.
Some people call him
defense.
Yeah.
Some people call him David Mills.
Well,
I've never heard Doug. Yeah. That's another level.
Only his friends call him.
Yeah, only his closest enemies, I guess, at this point. So he comes on the show. We have a full convo. It's me and him calling him Dougie, and then
big brain,
huge
what about
brain.
the neck?
And can spin it.
Yeah,
he is.
He's a big son of
a
huge.
Brain.
Yeah.
We have followed him since that moment. So, like, I feel like we have an advanced level of information on Dougie Davis Mills because literally from day one, we have had a relationship with him. So anytime he pops up, we're like, Dougie Mills is
Dougie.
Dougie, yeah. Like we talk about
Love
Dougie
him.
a lot. You said 29 starts or 25 starts. I forget what number you
29 tonight. I'm going to say, when I see him on the field tonight, I'm going to be like, Dougie, what's up, kid?
He will know. He will know where that is from. And he said he was cool with it. It's certainly not cooler than Davis, but Dougie Davis Mills has been a big part of our show. So, like, we are a massive fan. And he was getting 6 points. He was getting 6 points with that number one defense in the league on a Thursday night. Josh Allen, 8-0 on Thursday nights. I know you know that.
Yep.
Josh Allen, 0-3 at NRG Stadium.
Worst game of his career last year against this defense. He was like, what was he, 9 of 30 for 131 yards last year against this defense. So you know he's fired up to go up against them. Houston, they've won 2 in a row. They were 0. What?
Only 23% of the money is on. Only 23% of the bets are on Houston right now. But we love the Bills too. But what were you about to say? There was another stack of just please.
No, I'm just saying that I get so excited about the aisle.
You got to keep it down. Yeah, we're trying to do that with this one here, so please.
Okay. Have you figured out Oregon USC yet?
Yeah.
A given Oregon? It's a given at home, Oregon, right?
Last time I was up there.
Coach, the show's on Saturday.
Last time I was up there, I picked Indiana right in their face, and I've never been more.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, remember?
And it turned out you're right.
It's tough. But it's tough stuff.
Are you going Meta Troy?
I don't know.
You're not going to go Meta Troy, are you?
I think you know me pretty good. I think you probably know which
They're
way
pretty. They're pretty good.
Yeah, certainly. Southern California for sure. Yeah, that's probably.
That's not your call.
That's probably
your.
That's probably the way. But on that note, I've yet to dive in completely to the film. I will be doing that on our 14-hour pilgrimage to Eugene, Oregon. I will be watching the film of USC's offense, who obviously I've seen games them play throughout the season. I've followed the highlights. I've seen their stats. I haven't watched them for like entire games. Obviously, Lincoln Riley's a super talent. Okay, the offense is outrageous. And maybe, they can really do some stuff here all of a sudden. Maybe. But if this Oregon fan... What up, Peter? Who do you like, Peter? Who's Peter like? Who's Peter? What up, dude?
He doesn't care.
Peter.
He's relaxing.
This guy's tongue in his mouth. What's going on?
I know. I think he just woke. I just woke him up from a nap. How about the little? He's got a little wound underneath that left eye.
What happened? He get into it?
No, Bo and him scrap every day, and I think he got a canine underneath his left eye.
Bo's the youngest, right?
Yeah, 10 months.
Was it a good scrap?
Coming for that top spot.
He is. He's trying to...
I think he is. We're going to have a little war here in a couple months. I got my money on the big fella.
Hey, Peter. I'm pulling for you, Pete.
Love you, Pete.
That's the reason you're a top dog, Pete.
Like the dims on Bo, though.
Except for Pete's sleeping in satin sheets these days. He's getting a little too comfortable, Kirk.
Oh, that's what Bo's saying.
I think he is. I think that's valid.
Peter's who we think he is. To be 100% transparent, when I first meet Peter, I love Peter, the dog, but I think, wow, Peter's kind of doing whatever the hell Peter wants to do right now. Is this who Peter is? Then Peter, over the next few weeks, months.
He loves you.
Dude, he is an unbelievable dog. He's an unbelievable dog. I think you know that.
He sleeps underneath you in the meeting every week.
Unbelievable dog, though. Like, I think you know that. And rest in peace, Ben. Rest in peace, Ben. The reason why Ben was so awesome is because Ben, knew what was happening.
Majestic.
Yeah.
Just chill.
And knew what was happening. Like, hey, we're in a meeting. So Ben would just kind of sit down. All right, I'm just going to chill. We're in a meeting right now. Peter was still young, wanted to go see what everybody was doing in meeting. And it was like, Peter, I don't know if you can do this forever. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be a thing. And then watching him become like the dog that you and Bo and Mitch and the crew have he's you should be very proud of what Peter has become. I mean, he is a awesome dog.
He's a good boy.
Yeah,
he's a good boy.
Yeah.
He's getting more chill. He's more comfortable. He's not big on the crowds this year. He's decided to take a little bit of a rain check from the crowd.
Which, by the way, we respect that.
Dude.
we respect that out of Peter. Peter goes, I'm about done with these people. I respect that. But on that note, I can't wait to see him and you over there in Eugene. Should be an awesome scene on Saturday morning.
Be awesome. I can't wait to see what you're up to this week. It's going to be fun.
It's very early.
Yeah. Really
Oregon
early.
crowd is always insane, right? Like that is the
Oregon crowd is undefeated. We've been there in the past. Before the 12-team playoff, it was a 4-team playoff. We would go to, Oregon often, like twice. When Chip Kelly was there, and even previous years, we'd go there twice a year, a lot. And I know this year we've been kind of avoiding the repeat school visit. But I would be shocked if it's not the same, if not a better atmosphere. Eugene, Oregon is absurd when the show goes out there. And again, my live hit is 5:30 a.m. local for SportsCenter, and then we're live at 6 local.
They are awesome, dude. It has been a special place, which is why I didn't like that. I just knew Indiana was going to win that particular game because I'm in Indianapolis, so like I'm watching the Hoosier games. Like I'm being forced to watch Fernando Mendoza, and I just kind of knew that at that time for both those teams, Indiana was the better team. Like in my eyes, whenever I'm making a pick, which is always what I do. Now, is there some places that certainly sway me into believing the other? If I think it's a coin flip, I will be swayed. But I'm trying to get winners, bro.
You're doing a great job of it. By the way, did you see Saban and Reese? I always wanted to ask you this. Do you like when they hold the chair? Because that chair's wobbly. What do you think about them trying to help you out there? Do you want them not to help you out? Because that thing's teetering.
So I appreciate what they're doing. I understand what they're doing. And I, obviously, the GOAT and many would say potentially the GOAT on the other side as well when it's all said and done. So 2 GOATs there. My biggest fear is, and I don't know how to tell them this, I have told Reese because if I go down, it's going to be to Reese's side, okay? So if I fall and Reese is like kind of signing up for it, not only am I the big ass that hurt myself, now I take out Reese and the GOAT too. Like that's kind of my only worry is like Saban puts his arm out there. It's like, yo, I'm like 255 right now. 260.
You're gonna lose your arm.
If I'm coming down, that's not like a good spot.
Wait a second. You're 255?
I think I'm like 250 right now, yeah.
What are you, like 7% body fat? There's no way you're 255.
I don't know. Shout out to the folks at Affinity. We are working. We got a morning routine. We got some science brewing. Hey, I went down to Paris Island last summer and I watched how like these DIs operate, trying to learn about them as much as possible as I was going to try to do the impossible task of acting like one, especially in the World War II era, which is the greatest generation. And then it's drill instructors who are like the most badass humans of all time. These men and women are operating on like 3.5, 4 hours of sleep at maximum operation. And it's like, what all is possible with the human body? I'm watching it. And I'm like, you know what? I need to maybe kind of lock in a little bit because I get exhausted, throughout football season. Great jobs, easy jobs, but we're doing a lot. And I get like tired and I'm like, man, maybe I'm not cut out for this. I go down to Paris Island, watch these DIs and I'm like, oh, I need to rearrange what I'm doing here. Like they're up early. We're working out. We're eating. We're doing this. Like we're taking care of ourselves here. So like I've tried my best after that to like kind of lock in. And I am reaping the benefits. I am reaping the benefits of it right now. But boy, Thanksgiving's just next.
What will you do? What will you do for Thanksgiving? Are you allowed to have normal portions? Or are you going to only have a little bit? I know you don't eat you don't eat mashed potatoes, which is a total waste. Yeah. Total waste of time.
Okay.
I don't even know how you have Thanksgiving.
Stuffing. Thank you. Yeah, I'll put the mashed potatoes on a. Okay, I'll put it on there. And then I'll put all the stuff that tastes good on top of it, too.
Making your taters, man. Whoever's been buttering your biscuits has been doing it wrong.
So because we might blame my mom. I love her. My mom's sweet. Hard-working lady.
No doubt.
And she was not a big, hey, I'm a cook stuff person, though. Okay, that was not her thing. So I do believe there is a chance I have that. My wife, okay, She does make phenomenal mashed potatoes, but there's cheese in there. There's like flavor. It's like the stuff that tastes good. You know, there's butter. The amount of butter that's in mashed potatoes
That's part of the mashed potatoes, though. That's part of mashed potatoes. You don't just mash potatoes with water. I mean, you got to throw in all kinds of stuff.
You would, though, from my understanding, is you
No.
would.
No. You need stuff
It's like saying
inside.
you don't like
butter.
wings because you put
gotta,
sauce on them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but raw. Hey, naked, I'll eat those too.
I've never had a mashed potato without salt and pepper and butter and like you got to make them taste good. You don't just mash mashed potatoes.
Okay, you're right. We'll agree on that particular one. You got to make them taste good. I agree completely. Stuffing just pops right out there, just right out. It's just ready to go. Cannot wait for all the other fixings. You know, the things that come along with the apple pie.
The fixings.
Yeah, the fixings.
Cranberry.
Oh, it's just next week, is it not? It's next week.
It's
Week from today.
Week from today.
The ham. Oh my God.
Honey
Hawaiian rolls. Oh my God.
Oh, it's go time.
Pumpkin.
Are you allowed to eat with your 7% body fat?
I'm not 7%.
Are you allowed to,
I'm trying to get there.
are you allowed to eat?
Yes, I'm eating at this point. It's just like, got to do all the other stuff. You know, you can't just like not do this stuff and do this stuff. If you do that, then all of a sudden, you know, you start becoming a tired person all the time and a little bit.
Besides the 195 sauna for 30, are you doing any cardio?
Walking. We're doing a little walking.
I mean,
Okay.
the
Steps.
U-Ball. U-Ball is good.
Playing U-Ball for 10 straight games because me and Foxy can't be beat.
Is Ty and Tone and Connor and the whole crew, they doing this with you?
U-Ball? Yeah. the boys
Yeah,
are playing.
we play U-Ball, but it's crazy, Kirk. I want to actually get your opinion on this. If you're playing a 2-on-2 sport and the two best shooters of that sport are on the same team, what do you think the chances are that they lose back-to-back games?
Impossible.
Okay.
Thank you.
Herbie, you knew where that question was coming from. And on that note, me and Foxy started shooting the same shots as everybody else at the exact same time.
You're a professional athlete.
Foxy's an athlete.
Hold on, Kirk. You're a professional athlete, and Foxy is actually the only one that played high school basketball. So, yeah, holy shit. The basketball game. Wow, you guys are the best.
It's a state fair game. It's a little ball. I bowl. I don't even shoot basketball.
Every game's a state fair game.
And on that,
who's the best athlete on the squad?
Me, by far.
Yeah, Herbie.
Yeah,
I'm going Foxy. Besides Pat, I'd say Foxy.
No, hey, everybody has different strengths.
No,
everybody has different strengths.
I agree with that.
I think
Who can, if we hit a baseball, who do you think would hit the baseball the best?
For
Probably
sure.
Ty or Tone.
Yeah.
We play.
Ty!
Yeah.
Tone, I love
Fuck
it.
you, Kirk.
All right, Kirk, have a good game tonight. You're the best, ladies and gentlemen. Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah. What a dickhead. Fuck that guy. I'm done with Kirk forever. I am. And I'm sorry that we're going to be muted. That pissed me off. Fuck you, Kirk. Ruined Iowa season, and that was so condescending. You're a fucking asshole.
We're back on the other side. Goodbye. Belle Sessions, who got here at 3 a.m. this morning, was the winner. Her ticket was pulled, and you thought to yourself immediately, what, Belle?
I knew I couldn't do it, and he was next to me, and he said that he could, so we're splitting it.
Okay, so Belle Sessions made the decision to talk to my man, Henry Silver, who Henry got here yesterday at 6 p.m. He's been waiting for this moment. Now, Henry, you told her that you could make it. Why do you think that's the case? Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I've kicked a ball before. I've played soccer my whole life. I think I can do it.
This kick is for $150,000. You said you would split it in half, right? Okay, so let's make it $200,000. If you make it, you will both get $100,000. Where are you from, Henry?
I'm from Fishers, Indiana.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Colts?
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Come on, bro. Hell yeah. To hell with the Falcons. That was rude. They didn't deserve that. I like that. Henry, 33 yards. $100,000 for you. $100,000 for her. $200,000 to hurricane relief. $400,000 on the line. Henry, are you ready?
Of course.
Have you ever said anything bad about kickers?
Of course.
Shut up. Let's go. Now, here in Athens, Georgia, it would be beautiful if $400,000 would be up for grabs. Why don't we double it because the Georgia Bulldogs. So, $800,000 kick right here, Henry. But what I want to let you know is you're not getting a second opportunity. I don't care if this entire place starts chanting for a second kick. One kick 800,000 racks, 400,000 to hurricane relief, 400,000 to U2 split, 200 grand each. Henry Silver from Indiana for Bell Sessions. Let's go, Henry! Oh my! Henry! Henry! Come in, buddy! Come in! Let me see this. Let me see this, Henry. That was amazing. I mean, he walked in like, Henry! Henry! Congratulations, Henry! Congratulations, Bill! Dude! Congratulations, Georgia! What a morning! College game day's the greatest! College football's amazing! Bill, you just won $200,000.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this NFL Week 12 kickoff Thursday, November 20th, 2025, hour 2 of the program begins now. Football is the greatest. We're so lucky we get a chance to chat about it tonight. Week 12 of the NFL season kicks off as the Buffalo Bills travel down to Houston to take on the Texans. A number one defense in the league from the Houston Texans battles against the reigning MVP, fresh off a historic Sunday where he scored 3 on the ground and 3 through the sky. Buffalo Bills looking to win a Super Bowl. Texans, what are they? We find out tonight. I know Dougie Davis-Mills, the quarterback for the Houston Texans, is a backup, and he's playing 3 games now with C.J. Stroud in the concussion protocol since that nasty hit where he got hit by shoulder pad in the head and also field by head. It was kind of a double whammy. We hope he is okay. He misses his 3rd game. Dougie Davis-Mills, tonight will be his 29th start. We just learned from Kirk Herbstreit, who will be on the call. Very experienced. Will they cover the 6 points that they are getting on a Thursday night football battle? The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tony's here. Last hour was 77% of the bets, I believe, were on the Buffalo Bills, favored by 6 on ESPN Sportsbook, 5.5 other places.
Yeah, 77 is still that number, but 6 is not. 6 has disappeared. I'm now seeing 5.5 across the board.
Well, I would like to say I was pretty obvious about what I wanted.
You did. You said before the show.
Shut out there.
I like it now.
Yep, lock it in now.
And AJ, ladies and gentlemen, a man who's college football national champion, the Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, and the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawker.
AJ didn't get to hear it, but I locked it in at 6 earlier if I was to take the Houston Texans. I don't know what you did.
Oh. So what can I get the Bills at then?
5.5. 5.5.
Or 6.
Yeah, or if you want minus 6.
If you want -6.
Yeah.
No, I'll take the good one. I don't know who I'm picking yet, though. I don't know. Who are you? Do you know? You already made your pick?
No, I'm just saying earlier today I said, hey, if I was to pick the Texans.
We locked it in.
I would like it +6 if I was to. I kind of feel like this. I don't know.
But you were pretty steadfast about how you
Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, don't you think you kind of know? Don't you feel? You don't feel?
I have a feeling one way for sure right now.
Maybe one of the most that you've had all season. Are you seeing this the same way I have?
Maybe a little bit, but I don't know. Going off of what you have said, I don't know if we're on the same page here.
So you feel a complete opposite, maybe the way that I feel.
I might.
I woke up this morning saying Houston Texans are getting 6 points. at home on a Thursday night with Dougie Davis-Mills against a team that is very good. Obviously a very good Buffalo Bills team, but like, I don't think any of us from watching them are like, hey, this is the team that's going to win the Super Bowl. So 6 points feels like a lot of points. And then on the flip side, Josh Allen's on their team. You know, it's like I woke up thinking Texans +6, easiest bet. Most I've felt about a pick all year, other than the Indiana one. This is the most that I've ever had conviction about it. Indiana one hits. So maybe that gives me a little bit of a false hope here. You know what I mean? Which hope is something that you certainly need. I wrote an entire post about it this morning because Lane Kiffin asked me to send a daily message of motivation. It has become part of the routine. Don't look for it to last long. Okay, that one.
All right. So things are getting loud down there.
What's that?
That whole situation.
Yeah.
Is he still reading a daily message?
He did put out his daily message as well, but just it's getting hot down there.
What do you mean it's getting hot down there?
I mean, obviously he's gone. We know that.
What? Who said that?
I mean, I'm just saying, nobody said that, but in my humble opinion, he's out of there. See ya.
All right, we'll put it on the ticker. We'll put it on the ticker.
I mean, come on now. Like when you had him on, he was great. He was really good. I love him. I love everything about him. That's why he's being recruited by all these great schools.
So what?
I think all three places are getting real tired of waiting.
Yeah, a lot of shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, you talk to a couple Ole Miss fans, and they are damn near at the point where, sure, if he comes back, whatever, we're still going to hate him now.
What?
That's just that is just the Ole Miss Reddit mills, if you will, the rebel Reddit,
the message boards.
Yeah, the message board.
They're still throwing their fastball. It sounds like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I haven't been able, believe it or not, to look at college football message boards since the year 2008.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, so I have
Still
not. I've tried not to ever, even have. I don't want my algo to think yes ever to that, just because, boy, I've been on the receiving end, and I assume they are pretty talented in there. They are not a happy bunch either, and they are very passionate. So I'm happy to hear that those are still throwing 100 on the paint and everything like that. He came on the show to clear up that there's been no ultimatum. He was doing yoga 6 a.m. with the athletic director.
Yeah.
And the fans don't give a shit whether there's an ultimatum or not. They have one.
Mm-hmm. No, I think they just see the writing on the wall. You see all these openings. You see all these different coaches. These universities, what are they doing? What are these coaches doing? They're signing massive new contracts to stay at their school, so they're not lured away to the Penn States, the Floridas, the LSUs of the world. Lane Kiffin's just, hey, I'm going to bide my time. I'm going to bide my time, which typically means we're going to have a great season. That season's going to end, and then I'm going to go somewhere else.
No!
And when on my way out, I'm going to fucking ransack the pantry and take a bunch of players with me. So I think Ole Miss fans are starting to see the writing on the wall.
I don't know if that's necessarily.
Oh yeah,
I saw Ole Miss fans worried because they think this is going to happen, that the college football committee is going to drop them in the standings because they're not going to have a coach for the playoff.
Did you see one of the things that they put up?
Who?
The college football playoff committee.
No.
They have stipulations underneath this. Wait, look this up. Look up the college football playoff committee stipulations. I think there's like 4 of them. They have different things. The 4th one, or the last one, maybe it's the 3rd one. It basically says, like, can judge a team depending upon who would be absent from the players and also from the coaching staff if the playoffs were to happen. Can judge or dock a team for that. It's in there. And I think it's in there because of Jordan, right? A couple of years back with Florida State.
Yes.
That'll be in there forever because
it should be in there. It should be in there. I agree.
And they also give themselves, like, hey, if we want to, other relevant factors such as unavailability of key players and coaches that may have affected a team's performance during the season or likely will affect its postseason performance. Great work there, Bruce. Way to find that.
There's just a lot of words.
That was in there. I saw that this week. So when it came out, I try to be as well read on everything as possible. I try my best to stay up to date on absolutely everything. It's not necessarily the easiest to dive into all the whatchamacallits, but for the College Football Playoff Committee, with my entire thought, like, hey, you guys have said that, like, good losses are better than, like, any of the good wins. Like, basically what you have said is that is kind of how you guys are viewing this. So then I wanted to, like, find out what are the stipulations? Like, is that a stipulation? So then I saw that one. I was like, wait a minute. This seems like a pretty important little stipulation to this entire thing that does give them an out if a coach is to be poached potentially to another job. But you're going to another job, to win, right? Uh-huh. You're going to win a national championship. So you're going to potentially not get into the college football playoff with the team that you have currently to go try and win a national championship somewhere. I don't fully understand why everybody just thinks he's leaving. Genuinely. I genuinely, because of, I guess, how college football has gone forever. And I was at West Virginia when Rich Rod went to Michigan. Okay. So, and we were hopefully going to be in a national championship the next year. So I understand that, like, this has been the thing. But you watch that doc with Lane. Okay. He is a unique character. I think we can all say that whenever it comes to being a college football coach and how he does things. There is a chance that he is enjoying the hell out of what he has at Ole Miss. And if they have money, which I don't know if they do, they might not have like Oregon and like Penn State, Ohio State, Texas Tech. Like, I don't know if they have like the highest money, but I think if the money is all kind of comparable at all these places. Not saying they are. I don't know what everybody's finding. And nobody's really come out and said, right? I've been pressing. I have tried my best saying, who has the fucking money?
Has an extension even been offered to him?
Exactly. That's what I want to know. Ask Elaine if they have offered him an extension. Then we can kind of gain some info, I bet.
We agree 1,000% with everything you're saying. All I'm saying is the fan bases are in a frenzy right now.
Yeah.
All of them.
And
all three of them.
Completely understand that, too, because sure, maybe an extension wasn't offered, which would make absolutely zero sense, because to what Ty said, like, every single coach that was getting thrown out for Penn State, for all these other jobs, they got extensions and they signed them. And so maybe Ole Miss is like, hey, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're gonna go the opposite way, actually, and make this as tough and miserable as possible for not just us, but for Lane and the entire university's alumni and fan base. But it feels as though an extension might have been offered, and instead of signing
that's what everybody is like kind of reacting
that's
to.
How it, and that's how it feels. Yeah.
That's how people are acting. Got it. Yeah. Wild situation. And there's not like just a bunch of coaches. You know? So a lot of people are saying that the fans are obviously at these schools would like some answers sooner than later, because there's a lot on the line here. Ole Miss still very much.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they might win a national. They're going to try to win a national championship. So it's like, would you leave? What are you leaving for? Well, I'm leaving to go win a national championship and also maybe better resources. It's like, okay, who has? That's a good conversation. I hope somebody will tell us the answers to that at some point. Feels like we have been asking for a few weeks now. Like Florida, LSU, Penn State. We know what Penn State's doing. I think we've been very open with what Penn State's doing. Have I heard the same from Florida, LSU? I hear they're invested. Yeah, they're in. But then the answer is always like local recruiting is just so much easier, basically, at Florida and LSU than at Ole Miss. LSU. The statement is 5 stars fall off trees in Louisiana. And a lot of guys down in Louisiana take a lot of pride in being LSU. Like LSU is like their school. So they think like the natural recruiting and the talent of recruiting that you have much greater access to than the rest of the country is warranted enough of a national championship by itself. So then when you talk about all the other resources, it's like that's just kind of like added on top. It's like interesting, because are we in the world now where the other resources mean anymore? And then you hear from people that are like, no, if you can sign a 5-star 4.2 guy because he grew up 4 feet away from the university, that is much better than having to transfer portal guess if person is happy there. So there's so much going on in flux. I assume it's not an easy decision, obviously, for anybody to have. But for Lane, it's like, I think he's trying to win, and I think he wants to win a national championship.
Yeah, he's focused on,
So all this external noise is loud. He says he's doing yoga at 6 a.m. with the athletic director. He's saying there's no ultimatum given to me. And everything he's talking about is trying to win. I don't know, man. I don't know when that answer comes, and I don't know what the right answer is at this point.
Especially with the college football playoffs now. Like, how do you do, like, I know we played, Mark D'Antonio took the Cincinnati job. He was our defensive coordinator at Ohio State, but he coached us. He agreed to take the job like at the beginning of bowl practice, I believe. And he was with us all through bowl practice, but he had already accepted that job at Cincinnati. So he coached us through all that. He coached us in the bowl game. And then, he's hugging us and crying on the field afterwards, knowing he's leaving. But he's sitting there on the bus trying to like put his staff together, trying to bring recruits in. Like, it's a thing, but you can't be doing that through a college football playoff run.
No, especially where the transfer portal window is too. Think about where the transfer portal window is. So like, the other places, you need to be in here by, I think there's a December signing day, and then also a transfer portal, and we need to have that whole thing figured out by then. College football playoff runs after that. So, wow, what a predicament. What a predicament. Because like Rich Rod, whenever he left West Virginia to go to Michigan, he didn't coach the Fiesta Bowl. And
yes.
I don't know what would have been the right. At this stage, I guess get him the hell. Because
it's weird. Either way, there's no right answer, but it's just like it is a weird situation there, and the timing is just it's brutal.
We won with Bill Stewart. Shout out to Bill Stewart being the guy that was able to kind of in that entire scene because it was loud outside. I mean, I was getting death threats. It was, from my personal standpoint, that was a chaotic time where Bill Stewart was very much like a calming factor. But, man, that's what you almost need because there's chaos, especially now. There's full chaos. Imagine your team going to the playoff. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who has coached football forever. He's a football guy, obviously. He's become our program's coach. He's a Yinzer, Super Bowl champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Mike McCarthy.
Yay, Coach!
All right.
All right. Good afternoon, man.
What do you got going on here? What's on the head? We're in a mountain. It looks like maybe a mountain there. Oz X.
No, it's O2X. Optimize to the
extreme.
To the X. Optimize to the X. It's a great
Hell
company, yeah. human performance company out of the Boston area. Good buddies of mine, and more importantly, it's a hat that fits my big head. It's a good hat.
It is a good shaped hat. You should figure out what type of hat it is. You'll take it off, and in the inside, it will tell you what style of hat it is. That's the one that I think you need to be going with forever. Shout out to optimizing to the extreme, too, up there. And it looks like you want to climb a mountain. These are the guys you call. Now, what are we doing here? Do you know what they're doing in there? Are we getting in that trailer that Matthew Stafford got in? Do you remember Matthew Stafford was in that
the Immortal Chamber?
Yeah, the Immortal Chamber that he was in during the offseason. I don't know if you know that. Are you getting into any trailers to live forever with the Optimized to Extreme boys?
No, I haven't done that. It's actually I had a chance to work with those guys when I was with the Cowboys, and just keep in touch with them. They do a lot of work, with federal agencies, public service. Did some really, excellent work for the Dallas Cowboys in their time. But they're just, former Navy SEALs, all special forces throughout their ranks. They're just a really neat, unique group of people. So really enjoy those guys.
Hell yeah. Hey, Optimize to the Extreme. We appreciate you.
Let's go.
I like that they
You love them, Pat. They're right up your alley.
Yes, I mean, as you were talking there, I was like, yup.
Boston guys. What are we talking about?
Yeah, they have a great website, Optimizing Our Nation's Heroes. Here, we just checked this out. I thought you were going to give a full breakdown. You said, "There you go."
That's what it's all about.
You said I've said
through
enough.
The mechanics of TV.
Yeah, I guess you're the best. Coach Mike McCarthy, Optimized to the X. We appreciate the hell out of what you do for the United States of America. Let's talk about tonight, Coach. Hey, 6 points was the line and is the line at one of the sports books. You can get it at 5.5. Texans have the #1 defense in the league. Josh Allen is an absolute alien. That's obviously what everybody is kind of putting on the marquee. What are your thoughts as we look at this game? And I don't want you to give a pick yet as you are continuing, to be on a winning side of things. But what is your thoughts on how they should both be looking at this game if you were the coach of both these teams?
I think it's a great matchup, and especially where we are in the season. Obviously you talk about Houston, with the quarterback situation, but Davis is, remember him coming out of Stanford. I mean, he's a prototype quarterback. Great size, can really spin it. I think you're really able to stay in tune with how you want to play on offense with Davis. So I think that is something that he's proved the last couple of weeks. But I just think the things that you look at. You got great defense. I love Houston's defense. They got great, excellent, studs on all three levels. That's the first thing I always look at. And they're year 3 in their program down there, their defense. So, the ability to take the ball away in the noise. I think this is going to be a really tough outing for Buffalo. I think it's going to be tougher than we all think. I mean, Josh, it's hard to pick against him. I know personally because I've always leaned towards a quarterback when you get into tight games. You get into November, December championship playoff type games. You always tilt towards a quarterback. But I'll tell you, I think the ability to run at Buffalo's defense, which I think since they losing Oliver, that is something I'm sure they'll be focused on. And I think this is really going to come down cleanly to who takes care of the ball. And, Texans do a great job. They're run and hit defense, swarming the football. they got the noise in their favor. I mean, I think Houston's a place that's a lot of.
Can't optimize to the extra.
Yeah, I'm assuming, OTX was like, oh, Big Mike, you don't want to give us the rub? You're just going to wear the hat? You don't want to talk about how great we are on our website? Watch this.
You think that's what it was? I don't know. Maybe O2X just... Maybe they got beef with some other Navy SEAL company. Maybe.
Oh.
You think Sarge?
Who's got the power to just shut people down like that?
I don't know. You always get throttled over there, don't you?
I'm getting throttled all the time. You know that. It goes back years.
Yeah.
Uncle.
I expect him to get throttled coming up here soon, too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
With all his buddies getting in trouble.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. All right, we will wait for Coach Big Mike McCarthy to come back. I will certainly talk about. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Darnell Mount Washington.
Oh, hell yeah.
Darnell Mount Washington, the tight end / tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who has been a massive piece of what the Pittsburgh Steelers have been able to do on the offensive side this year in Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers' offense. Now, Aaron Rodgers needs time to be able to operate an offense. Their offensive line may be, at the beginning, not like the greatest. So let's add a 6th offensive lineman. They started going in like basically 6-0 line versus everybody else. We're starting to get more protection. Now, you lose somebody going out of the backfield that maybe could be a deep threat, especially if you even add another one in 12 personnel and have them actually stay in and have an offensive lineman be the second tight end that's on the field. Get a lot of protection. You can go through the reads, but the reads can only be 1 or 2 guys because obviously you're taking from the offensive attack and putting it into the protection side of this. Darnell Washington became like their unlock cheat code in this entire thing. He is a tackle who, whenever he gets the ball somehow, he's on the move. He was on the St. Brian's podcast, and they asked him straight up, how much do you weigh, dude? Just by looking at you and what you're listed, the eyes are kind of lying, and it feels like you're nowhere near 250 pounds.
How much do you weigh?
Yeah, bro, I gotta ask, bro, because we looked it up.
The internet says 260. I'm like, not 260, bro.
Yeah, bro. We looked it up. Like, no way.
Yeah, I ain't finna cap to y'all. I ain't weighing myself in a minute, but
what do you mean? You got weigh-ins every week.
Look.
Look, he's trying to get away. I ain't weighing myself in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah.
I'm 311.
I knew it, bro.
There's no way.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, because I looked it up, and it said 6'7", 275. I'm like, bro, he looks bigger than Jimmy Graham because I play with Jimmy Graham. He's 6'7", 260 something. I'm like, he looks bigger than Jimmy Graham. I'm like, unless I'm tripping, like. Bro, I'm like, yeah, no way. Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, a DB tackling you is unheard. Like that's like us passing it to fucking Panay. Like that's crazy. Bro.
You know what's funny? He's like, I ain't with myself in a minute. I ain't gonna cap. 311.
311, man.
That's a gigantic human being. And then we all remember, obviously, from this past game against the Bengals, here's him with the ball and with other humans on the field. And it's not just that he catches the ball smoothly and cleanly at 311 pounds. It's his, I mean, that's every time you give him the ball if you want it. He's been doing that since Georgia. He was the backup tight end to Brock Bowers at Georgia. So he obviously was in blocking a lot. Brock Bowers was getting the ball because Brock Bowers is obviously exceptional as a passing tight end. This dude, anytime he's ever got the ball, he's made something happen with it. Literally since college. And coming out of college, they were worried about his knees. They said his knees might not be good. It's like he's 311 pounds running around. Yeah, his knees might hurt. I mean, that is just like a part of it. A body that big, AJ, not supposed to move the way that he does. And it feels like he's only getting better, and they're using him even more, AJ.
Yeah, we're finding him all the time. And think about like how many different ways you could use him. You can line him up on the end of the line of scrimmage like he actually is a tackle, have him block, and then he's releasing out to the flat. And then you throw the ball to him. Like a lot of defenses have a 5-yard no cover zone where they're not going to jump down to anything under 5 yards. Say you're 6-7 yards deep, you're dropping in coverage, and they dump the ball to him in the flat, and you have 10 yards in between, and he has a full head of steam coming at you. Like, what do you do? Like, you have to find a way to get all 11 dudes to tackle this guy because I think it's true. Like, the more and more he gets the ball, like the more confident he is, and the more we're going to continue to see stuff like this.
What the play you're describing did happen against the Bengals this week, and it went exactly how you thought it would go. And whenever you talk about getting more and more confident, it's like him looking like he's Derrick Henry in high school to these dudes. It does have to feel good to become like, I don't want to say a focal point, because Freiermuth, obviously, great tight end as well.
He's playing more snaps than all of them.
But Mount Washington's becoming a focal point because of his ability to just be a tackle. Yeah. And by be a tackle, he literally is 311 pounds, 6'7" or whatever. I mean, he could be a tackle if he wanted to right now, and he acts as such. And then it's like you have a slip every single time if you want it, and he's able to do whatever he wants. It's almost like an X factor that I don't even know how you stop. He's got, he's very, I don't want to say it. But Gronk was massive. Okay, his catch radius was gigantic, and Gronk was impossible to tackle. And I don't want to put Darnell Washington in Gronk's role because Gronk is faster, I do believe, than Darnell Washington
Similar,
is.
though.
But there's a lot of similar qualities of being just dominating on a football field, and he has certainly become that.
Yeah, he has. Obviously that play happened, but there was also one where AJ was talking about where literally I think it was 3rd and 17 or 3rd and 11. I can't remember, but they dumped it down probably like 7 yards, and then he went and got the first down there too. And he's awesome. Aaron and Mason have been going to him more on 3rd down now because he's so big and it's so hard to cover him. But I know there's a lot of people. Daniel Jeremiah was the first person I saw say it. Compared him to Jason Peters. He was a tight end in college who moved to left tackle. Pretty soon, like when his athleticism diminishes a little bit, he could go straight from 80 right to 79 and just probably be a Pro Bowl left tackle because he's so, like when he is at that position, he is so good at blocking, run, and pass. He definitely has a future as an offensive lineman if he wants to as well.
And there's going to be a reporting eligible forever, basically, for him. Here's him from high school, AJ. We found his, this is Darnell Mount Washington's overtime footage. That's him at wide receiver. Could you imagine? Yeah, right. Yeah,
junior high, I believe it said in the tweet.
Junior high?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they said 8th grade.
Yeah, playing under the lights in 8th grade. That makes sense with Darnell Mount Washington at wide receiver. Excited that the Pittsburgh Steelers are using him. And I'm excited that maybe that becomes a new position. Yeah. Maybe some 300-plus pound tight ends just start becoming a very normal. Because if you can protect your quarterback, that's a huge deal. If you can run the ball, it's a huge deal. And if you can make it look like you're about to do both those things and be untackleable, that sounds unstoppable. Joining us now is a man who will love to call play with that type of guy. Ladies and gentlemen, optimized to the extreme, Coach Mike McCarthy.
Hey, Coach. Good to be back.
What the hell's going on?
What happened over there, Coach?
What the hell's going on? I mean, things started spinning. I think we went to the internet till 1 o'clock.
I think you got we're on the internet now, Coach. Don't worry about the fine. You disappeared on us. You know that.
I know. Yeah, I don't know what happened. So where were we? I gave you the pick and everything, so I guess it's an automatic win. Or...
No, we didn't hear it. We missed that. We'll get back to that at the end. We're talking about
I'm taking a winning team.
No. We'll make sure you clarify that later. Okay. We're talking about Darnell Mount Washington over there in Pittsburgh. And obviously, you know him coming out of Georgia. I assume you guys scouted and did the entire thing through the draft. National champion there, very successful there behind Brock Bowers. He's starting to become like a focal point for the Steelers offense because I think they can disguise him as a protection guy, and then he can leak out at any given moment. And when he has the ball in his hands, he's untackleable. Big man with the ball who can move. Sound like a treat for a play caller or a play designer, I would assume, Coach?
No, absolutely. I thought I was sitting here listening to you talk about him before, and you asked a question. I thought you made some great points, particularly even in pass protection, that to have a Y on the line, tight end that big that also can chip from that position, also fully remove a great pass rusher to a wider gap, a wider alignment. I think there's so many little things that you can utilize too. And the Steelers have history. If you go back, was it to the 70s, the Larry Brown moved from tight end to left tackle and had a great career there in Pittsburgh. But no, it's he was definitely a unique talent coming out of Georgia. I think that the medical was the only question you had on him, but it's great to see him having success because the on the line wide tight ends that can play at that position and be dominant as a run blocker. I mean, that's something that it really solves a lot of schematic challenges too, because you're always trying to move tight ends, more movement tight ends, and put them in position to block a defensive end. So when you have a tight end that can block a defensive end on the line of scrimmage, I've always felt that's a huge advantage because, the first thing you talk about in your run game meetings is how do you win the C gap? The C gap is where the front is connected to the second level of the defense. So that C gap blocking area is a very important area to target of how you're going to, whether expand it in a zone scheme, knock it down or, cut the defense in a pattern scheme. And when you got a guy that, that can do it right there on the line of scrimmage at 311 or whatever he is. That's a huge advantage in the run game. Also, the pass protection because of the chipping and helping on these great pass rushers, which seems like everybody has 3 of them. And then obviously what he's doing in the pass game, like AJ said, no one wants to tackle him. So no, I think he's a huge weapon, and I think Tone said they're using him, a lot more, and rightfully so.
Yeah, hey, I like that. Listen to your recall there real quick. I was picking up some stats you guys are dropping that I didn't necessarily have, but I think you're saying he's playing more. Nobody wants to tackle him. Yeah, I think that is all accurate. I agree with your assessment. If you were to get back into coaching, which sports books are obviously putting you as a favorite at some different places, so congratulations.
Oh, yeah, coach.
If you want to get back into coaching, people are saying, hey, looks like this guy could do it, which is good news. And we would certainly echo that particular sentiment. Are you looking for a 300-plus pounder that can catch the ball and move a little bit, maybe for your next offense?
No, absolutely. No doubt. I just think, you look at the trends in the league, it's something I've always, paid attention to. When I arrived in Dallas, it was an offense that was entrenched in more of 11 personnel as a starting point. I've always believed the game starts, with a 2 tight end, 12 and 21, and migrate, to the 13 personnel and the 11, obviously, with the 3 wide receiver sets. I just think there's such value in being a multiple personnel offense because with that, with the injury challenges that you have, and as a coach when you're playing your 4th, 5th, maybe 6th, receiver over your 2nd or 3rd tight end, that you're not utilizing your weapons as well as you can too. So yeah, definitely, I think it's a big man's game. It always has been, always will be, and to have that type of player on the line of scrimmage, it gives you the ability to get in and out of 1-back, 2-back concepts very easily.
All right, I'll start eating. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Coach, obviously next week's Thanksgiving. We know this is when the season truly starts, I think. A lot of the great teams, this is when they really come alive and start playing their best ball. I guess as a coach, what do you do when it comes to this point in the season? We know with padded practices, you could have 1 a week, and now I think you might not even – at some point you can't have any more padded practices really towards the end of the season. What do you do to keep your team ready, I guess, to actually make them and help them ramp up to where these games actually matter? And this is we can go try to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think every year as a head coach, sets out that, the schedule for the season. You try to project as best you can throughout, all 18 weeks. And with that, the first thing I always looked at the schedule is because people are always so caught up in, who you play. It's really not who you play, it's when you play them. But I think the most important component of scheduling and regulating your football team is when you get in how many seven-day runs do you have as a football team? How many 7-day sequences you have? Because that's where the continuity, the regularity, the efficiency, the connection really happens. I'm a big believer in the padded practices on Thursday, not only just to get the players ready to play in the game that Sunday, but you're always developing the younger part of your football team. Some people don't believe in 9-on-7 drills and things like that. I think they're a must, not only, once again, not for the older guys, more as much so for the younger guys. So especially with the state of the league with the offensive line, how do you continue to develop offensive line, into the season? You got to approach it coming out of the gate that way because, ideally you like your younger players not to play till potentially, November, December, because, I definitely, my history, I believe that they're definitely ready. They're ready to play and contribute by then because they're able to get into that, the regulation of a normal season. So, and that's tough. When you're a popular team, I mean, if you play for the Packers, you play for the Cowboys, you got a lot of Sunday night, you got a lot of late night games and so forth. So the rest and recovery becomes a challenge. But those 7-day windows are important. And the reason why I'm making a big deal of it, because now I always felt, when you get to Thanksgiving, that's when now you go into a different shift. And, AJ and our time together, the winter schedule. So, you come into a winter schedule, and I used to try to take 60 minutes off the day on Wednesday and Thursdays, especially living up here in Green Bay. I mean, you go to work, it's dark, and, and the players come out to, get to go home and it's dark. So how do you those are all things you think about, part of the recovery and so forth. You get into this winter schedule and then you got 13 padded practices. So you got to filter them in on the short week and, because they're vital. I mean, it's, you have to play the game in pads, and I think you need to definitely practice in pads once a week. So I just think the scheduling kind of shifts after this week. And this was a week that I always targeted because I always felt this is probably the last week that I could really keep my foot on the gas as far as trying to push the players, because you do really got to look at the wear and tear of your football team, throughout the season. But this is where it comes down to, because you got to make that push in November and make, you want to be playing your best football in December. So I always thought this was a big week for teams as far as their overall development. And I think it tells you a lot about your team where you are when you get to this point. And I'm not talking about the guys that are lining up on Sunday. I'm talking about all 68 players, all the way through your practice squad.
Have you thought about this at all?
It's just what I do, Pat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, you just gave so much good shit there. There are so many different things, like, for me to want to dive into more to learn about. One of them, though, you talk about needing to have pads. Thursday was your day. You got 13 of them. We got to slot them in. Is that full pads, or are you a shells? Are you a shells guy? What was your
full pads? I think it's full pads. AJ used to try to get away and put the sweatpants over there.
Put sweatpants on, yeah, Coach. Yeah. Coach would come. They come knock on your. They'd knock on your legs if you're wearing sweatpants. It's -30 out, and people, I just want my sweatpants. He won't know if I don't have my pants on. Nope, they get you right away.
Oh, yeah. We need to see the pants. You are the pants need to be on, Coach.
It's the details, Pat. That's one of them. Yes. I just think it, But
I would have those sweats on.
I think you got to practice your team the right way, and I don't think it's too much to ask your football team to wear all the pads on a Thursday.
Go Hawk.
Yeah, it's true.
All right.
Coach, he did say one time, Coach said, if I lose somebody with a thigh bruise on a Thursday, I'm going to lose it. I said, Coach, if I sit out a game with a thigh bruise, you can cut me on the spot. I'm just letting you know. But I did wear my pants.
It is crazy, though, because the pants are just like Spanx these days. They're like tights. Basically, you're just kind of putting
different
them on.
mentality, though. There is like a different mentality or feel when you have your pants on. It's just different.
Everybody thinks it, too. It's not like putting the shoulder pads on. All right, we're fucking strap it up. Got it. Okay. Even me, like punter, even like, let's do this whole thing, obviously. Putting those pants on, it's everybody in there is like, just stomping. Let's put these things on, I guess. All right. Sick. Let's go have a full pad practice today. And the coaches are like, you're a football player.
Yeah, football season.
Put on your football pants.
Your uniform?
Chris Angel wears football pants whenever he's dangling from an NFL stadium. You can wear football pants whenever the hell you're doing football practice. I love that, Coach. We need more of that. Tone has a question for you about this weekend.
Yeah, Coach. Kansas City Chiefs have won 10-plus games in 10 straight seasons, which is insane. 9 division titles in a row. And now they are sitting 5-5, which would be the 9 seed right now for the playoffs. And they have a Colts team who is one of the best records in the NFL coming in off of a bye.
Uh-oh.
Is this, I hate saying this, I hate this term, but is this a must-win for the Chiefs this weekend to not go from 5 to 6, potentially drop to the 10 seed in the AFC?
Third best odds to win the Super Bowl still.
And yes, they still have the third best odds to win the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts on the Chiefs overall in this game this weekend against the Colts?
I'm a big believer that sustained success in the league is clearly the hardest thing to accomplish. And, what the Chiefs and Andy Reid and that group has done is spectacular. With that, I don't think you could ever count them out. I think you look at the length of the season, this is a time of year they're very comfortable in. Their experience of playing in big games, must-win type games, who has more experience than them. So, and that's where I just think, going back to, we were talking about scheduling, before, is this is the time of year you just got to keep your head down. And the old adage of just keep chopping wood. When people are talking about winning a Super Bowl in week 3, 4, 8, 9, to me, it's just you're wasting time and energy, because that's a conversation for the preseason. Everybody has their their time that you talk about the goals for the year, and I would hope all 32 teams are talking about winning the Super Bowl. But this time of year, and I point to AJ again, I used to just tell our guys, until we get to 10 wins, let's just keep our head down and keep working on who's in front of us. And you only have so much time and energy each week to prepare for your opponent. And I think Andy, whatever, his formula of work and the way they grind and so forth speaks for itself. So I would not count those guys out. But yeah, it's getting late. I mean, they have 5 losses as you stated, but I think they obviously done a great job with their record of sustained success. They know how to just keep their head down and keep grinding. And, because really when you get to 10 wins, that's the only time you start, looking around. I understand they may be the 10th seed, but who's trying to win week 12? I mean, it's about being right where you need to be in the end. And, the best mindset is just keep it about what's in front of you. So, and I think they've obviously done that as well as anybody's done it in the history of our game.
I love that you said they got 5 losses, of course. Quick math, 17 minus 5 is what? They still have 12 wins. And we all understand that they have Patrick Mahomes, 12 more than 10, which he was indicating a couple different times there about how he treated the building. Going to have 10 wins in most cases, unless your division is completely ass and you win your division somehow with less than 10. Yeah. Going to have 10 wins to make the playoffs just in the NFL. It was like that, I think, with 16 games, still like that with 17 games at the desired position. Is that accurate or no?
10 or 11 probably, Pat, right?
Yeah.
10 or 11.
Depending on the year, I think. Depending on how right. the top of the thing's doing.
Yeah, I think 4 teams in the history of football have missed the playoffs with 11 wins. I only know that because Matt Castle in New England. But yeah, typically it's 11 or 10.
11 game, just to have a chance, though, you got to get to 10. So all these teams, we were just talking to Kirk Herbstreit about Joey Burrow's mindset. He's like, all right, we can still get to 10 wins here. Yeah. So, there's a chance we still sneak in an AFC that could have a lot of questions.
Last year, there was one 10-win team that did not make the playoffs. That was the Seattle Seahawks at 10-7 last year.
Boom.
Was there any 10 wins that made it?
Yeah, there was a lot of 10 wins that made it. The Bucks won at 10-7. They won their division. The Rams won at 10-7. They won their division.
Yeah, okay. So you're trying to get to double-digit wins, which is what it sounded like for you. And AJ, obviously, you've been in there, Coach McCarthy's building. Hey, Coach, whenever he put his head down, did you guys put one of those flags on? Whenever it's like the, like the oversized load or whatever the hell it is. Whenever AJ puts that whole thing down,
with his guardian cap.
On top of the helmet on top of the guardian cap. Whenever he put his head down and go to work, that thing's got to be. That's 2-3 foot radius right there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right, AJ?
What are we talking about?
Did we have guarding caps, AJ?
Yeah, AJ started it actually, AJ, Coach. Did you know that?
Tried to make it the hot cap.
No.
You didn't know that?
What's that?
Coach, you know better than to believe what these guys are saying, Coach. No, I was out of the league before the guardian cap became a thing.
No, you're a trailblazer in the pillow on top of the helmet.
That's why Atlanta cut him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I was pushing for him.
How do you feel about the guardian cap, Coach? That's a good question. Now, you're still potentially going to get back into coaching, so obviously you have to say what you have to say here because of how the league is and where it's headed. But the guardian cap thing, A.J. Hawk and many others that maybe tackled people for a living still find it pretty tough that is a thing, I think. Right, A.J.? I don't want to speak out of pocket for you.
I'm not torn on it. I understand. If it helps, then I have no issue with people wearing it. I think it is kind of weird seeing guys in games wearing them. Yes. Practice, I don't think there's any issue.
But he's talking strictly optically. If scientific, which they say...
Just feels like it'd be too heavy on my head. I don't think I have a strong enough neck to support that stuff.
It was a big change in football. People are talking about the kickoff being a big change. Having these massive things over top of the helmets, I think, was also a pretty big change there for a bit for a lot of people to kind of take in. But I do think it helps from the stats that we're hearing from the guardian cap people. How have you managed that entire conversation with your team as it was taking place?
Well, I mean, the sports science. I mean, to me, when it comes in under that realm, I mean, you have to give the players, the options to do those things. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody was going, wow, these look great, man. I can't wait to put these on. I don't think anybody said that when they came out. But I think the reasoning behind it, and the science and the numbers, it supports it. So yeah, I've never had a problem with it. But and I think the way they integrated it was smart. They started with the linemen and they worked their way through. And I just think, like anything, I know in my time in the league, what does the data tell you? And you have to do those things in the real work environment. So as time has gone on, now that they have the data that supports this any piece of equipment, whether it's when they changed the shoes or even the helmets, I think some of the greatest changes they made was. When they start outlawing helmets that just weren't to the performance level.
What do you mean? You mean the ones that guys were wearing for 15 years that got F report card grades? Hey, these things are not good. And then guys are like, I'm not changing it though. If you change it, I'm going to go out there without a helmet or I'm going to retire. And for a while they were just legit though. You're 100% right. There was a while where the people were just going out there knowing the helmet was basically a baseball hat. Basically knowing that and just going out there. And finally the league was like, enough. We can't be doing this anymore. We got to get better helmets. That was all during your coaching tenure. I completely forgot about that because there were some players that were very pissed about it. There were some players that were very pissed about it at the time. Not now, obviously.
No, definitely. I mean, but I think just like anything, if you can start these things, in youth football through high school, through college. I mean, then now those situations are resolved. But Yeah, I just think equipment, as a whole is so much better. And I just remember when, our two sons played football, and that's when they, started upgrading the helmets and so forth. And I was very comfortable letting our kids, play football because, football was under attack, big time for a good decade. And so, the numbers were going down in youth sports. I mean, those things were real and understandable, the why. So the fact that the league has got behind it and the research and development that's gone into the helmets and the other parts of shoes. I mean, when they start regulating having guys wear the proper shoes, I thought was a big deal. You look at all the lower extremity injuries, you can tie a lot of those in the old days to not having proper footwear and being in tune to which surface you play on. I mean, those are all very important factors that go into this. I think the league has done an excellent job of moving that forward and making the game safer and educating the players. But at the end of it, you got to get it down into the youth sports and it works through. So, but I think like a guy like AJ that didn't have it coming through, and AJ, I mean, look at his head. He didn't hit it.
Yeah, exactly. He did not. But
he knocked the hell out of anybody.
I think this is when you were coaching.
I think the fact that it starts. Yeah. No,
there it is.
I think. Oh, wow.
Coach, I think we all know this.
Told you, Coach.
They would have kicked me out of the game back then for wearing that.
Told you.
Doesn't even match the helmet.
Yes, it is, Coach.
It might be. I don't know. Maybe I got picked up wearing that thing. I forgot.
Back when they weren't the same color as the helmet. Yeah.
That was Trailblazer right there.
That's the prototype.
So thank you guys for your service to football, because to your point, there was a lot of things coming out that it felt like maybe our game was going to end up being kind of taken away from a lot of different people. And then the evolution and fighting back kind of by ball to remain is great. And now we're more popular. Football is more popular than ever. And that's a good thing for society, not a bad thing for society. And I'm happy we're doing it the right way. Ty has a question for you you talked about the amount of practices you have in a full week cycle with the team before the holidays. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Coach, there's been a lot of chatter about J.J. McCarthy and, his alter ego, 9, and people basically saying, like, well, 9 sucks. We need J.J. McCarthy. And there's also been people saying, hey, you don't really want your quarterback to have an alter ego. You kind of want that guy to maybe be the same person at all times. But in terms of development and all that kind of stuff, because we do have a lot of young QBs in the league right now who are making starts under immense pressure, and it's kind of one of those things where you want to develop them, but at the same time, like, they need to win these games. You got Caleb, J.J. McCarthy, they're not out of it yet. Drake May with the Patriots, Bo Nix. Like, a lot of these guys are still young quarterbacks. But as a coach, how do you go in knowing, like, hey, I still need to develop this guy, at the same time understanding that come Sunday he going to have a start under an immense amount of pressure in a game that we're going to have to win?
Yeah, the first part there, Ty, I don't really follow the Vikings as, my fellow Packer mate there. You can understand that.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I like shitting on him, though, when he doesn't play good.
What's up? I'm sorry?
I said I like shitting on him when he doesn't play good, though.
Yeah, it's rude.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know about the alter ego 9 question, but the young quarterback, definitely. I think, you make a lot of excellent points, where these guys are. And I think really playing with a young quarterback, that process starts the day that they arrive, on campus, at your organization. And I think just the biggest thing, to play quarterback in this league, you obviously, everything is, about, ultimately running a game plan and going winning and stacking success each and every week with that. So when I look at developing a quarterback, and it's really, frankly, how I look at how to train a football team, you have to reverse engineering. And what I mean by reverse engineer, if you look at the games in the National Football League, and I'm sure the guys can give us stats on this as we're talking about it, but, if it's a 17-game season, 9, on an average, 9 of your games is going to come down to a 2-minute drill.
Okay.
And if you look at the playoff football games, over 90% of those games are going to come down to the last series. So that's the reality of winning a championship in the National Football League. So how do you train the most important position on the field with the quarterback? They have to be able to throw the ball from the pocket. And, and I could hear, Paul Hackett, my old mentor, he'd always, tell us as young coaches, that we're working with the quarterbacks, you can't be spending so much time on the run game and the protection, because these guys get paid to throw the football. At the end of the day, they got to be able to pick the ball up and go win the game at the end of the game. So the hardest thing for a young quarterback, in my opinion, is the drop back game. So You start with the run game, and the run game today is a lot harder than it was in the 90s. I mean, these defenses today are, they're giving you so much scheme in first and second down, almost the way it was in third down in the old days. So you to run the football, it creates more work as far as, more check with me's, automatics, and things of getting out of plays. And that falls on the responsibility of the quarterback. Then you have protection adjustments. Are you a hot team, or are you protection adjustment team? I've always believed you had to be both. So there's more work too in the development of quarterback. And then the action game and the quarterback movement stuff, it's really a 1-2 run type decision. So they have to be able to do that. And every quarterback that plays in this league can do those things in his, I think in his sleep. I think that just comes into training. But the drop back part of it, I always felt that, when a guy was playing in his first year, and Aaron's really the last one I've had as a starter. And if you go back and look at these young guys, we'd always ask them and say, what are your top 7 pass concepts? And then really, buy into those, and 2 of them were usually a 3-step or some form of a 4 vertical. You had to give them a runaway, but you kept their decision-making really clean. Either they're pure progressions where you just 1, 2, 3, 4, where the ball goes, or a pure progression to the field with an opportunity to throw the ball to a one-on-one match. So making it real clean, because you wanted those quarterbacks at a young age to be able to play in 7 concepts that they could just close their eyes and play. And what I've found is, throughout their whole career of working with them, those concepts are the ones you'd always lean towards in a big opportunity in the game, or if they're struggling and things like that, because the drop back game, the timing, the footwork, and all the work that goes into that, that's the hardest thing for young quarterbacks to have success. And then there you go.
How's this drop back, Coach? I'm going to do Steve Young. Remember this shit? Remember when he used to do that one right there? Remember Steve Young used to do that drop back? What is the best drop back? 3-step, 5-step, 7-step? And what are we looking? Are we flipping the hips and running backwards like this while staying square? What does a good drop back look like, Coach? Shut it! It's on you. You're the coach. What's a good drop back look like?
What's a good drop back look like? It's on you, Coach. Call it.
Oh, okay. What's good? You mean, do I want a 3, a 5, or a 7?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How's he do it? How's he start?
Well, if you're training a quarterback, you always started with the 5-step, and you talked about how you get away from center. You punch, reach. All right, so punch with your left foot, reach with your right. You lefty or righty?
Righty. I was doing Steve.
Okay, yeah, punch, and then reach with your right foot, right across the midline. A little more, open that hip up. Can you turn the foot a little bit? Keep your chin on your shoulder, looking downfield. Yeah. No, I mean, you got to look.
Oh, shit.
You get your helmet straight.
Yeah, I don't know if my helmet's going to be
okay.
He doesn't know if his helmet's going to be able to get there, Coach.
We just threw you out of the quarterback room.
No, whoa.
There you go.
Punch,
there you go.
Punch, reach, crossover. Here you go. Heel to toe.
Now fire that son of a bitch.
Big on that 4-step. Oh, yeah. There you go.
That's a good ball.
Where you go for that?
Now we got something to work with.
Yeah, we can spin a little bit. The drop back, though, is so fascinating because everybody does it differently, but it's all expected to be same. And then you hear the talk about, like, 1 hitch, no hitch. Hey, that ball needs to be out right now. Hey, this is a 3. Like, we listened to AQ Shipley talk about it yesterday. He's like, hey, this is a 5-step and out play. You need to get the hell out of there. But if you can't do a drop back, there's no timing on anything, is what you were kind of referring to. And a lot of these college, I'm not saying JJ wasn't able to. He was under center given the entire thing. But working on all this stuff is very pivotal to the timing of offenses and everything. Is that also accurate to say?
Oh, definitely. That's where all the work's at. And that's where I go back to, how much time you spend on the run game, how much time you spend on protection. You got to invest a lot of time into the footwork of the quarterback, and the thing about the old days in the off-season program, we had a thing called quarterback school. Quarterback school started like March 15th, and you get 4 weeks just working clearly with the quarterbacks before the off-season started in the middle of April. So that was the only time really the quarterback that you could really hone in, 4 days a week, and hone in on all the little things that they got to do. Plus, you can do the introduction to all the installs and the new wrinkles that you were wanting to put in with the offense. And so then when the rest of the team came in the middle of April, those guys already been through the installs once, but you had a whole month of working the feet. And so then you're able to go through what I would call a normal off-season program through April, May, and in the first week or two into June. So with that, and it just be a product of how you visualize how you want to train the position. So how do you do that now in this season? You got to find the moments, and I think that really most quarterbacks that I've worked with in a modern era these last 10 years and 15 years since 2011, they do a hell of a job with with their personal quarterback coaches. You have to have a relationship with those guys because you want to be on the same page. You want to when you're talking about a 5-step drop, this is how we do it in Green Bay, or this is how we do it in Dallas, and and make sure the training is all the same. I think Dak Prescott has a great support group around him as far as how he trains with his personal PT and as a quarterback coach. But it's all lined. It's all lined because there's so much that goes into that position, and if you're not putting the time and the footwork in winning in the drop back game, that's the most important time of the game. When the game is on the line, the quarterback has to drop back in the pocket, throw the ball to win. And he's got to be able to come out of the pocket and make scramble throws and win. If he's got to throw it away, most situations, that's a positive play. So, the training for all that, it's a big time commitment. And how you find time to do that today's game is just a little bit more of a challenge than it was in the old days.
Fundamentals, baby. Win ball games. That's what it is. I'm already into punch and reach. I don't know. While you were talking there, giving your answer, I just want to let you know, quarterback school, 4 weeks of me working on this. Yeah, right, bro. I'm coming out of that thing looking like Peyton Manning, quarterback. Hey, here we go. That was kind of your guys' thing, right? You and Dak. Here we go. That was one of the greatest cadences of all time. Did you come up with that? How'd that become the
that was a group effort. We were having some things we wanted to overcome, and the communication in the room was, the linemen felt that they needed a little bigger indicator, and that's what we came up with. So
how big do you need? Do you need 3 words to let you guys? Here we go. Hey, it's coming. About to snap it. That's awesome.
It's the best.
Coach, you're the man. We appreciate you so much for joining us every single week. Sorry you lost connection there in the middle of it all. Feels like you like the...
Shoot. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to take the points.
Houston Texans +6.
Boom.
Coach McCarthy. If he was picking games, he'd be 7-3. No, the guy sees it.
Crazy.
I'm counting on that crowd noise in Houston. I think that's going to be. I think it's going to be lit up. And if Houston takes care of the football, I do think they'll get some takeaways because they got to keep the point total down on Buffalo. If Buffalo gets that thing north of 25, I think that's going to be hard for Houston. So
yeah, and
they're point over
game, run the football, action pass, run at them. So yeah, I think it's going to be a hell of a game.
That's the Buffalo Bills over under right there is 25. Actually, what you just said. So the books are seeing it the same exact way you are, and I appreciate everything you've done for our show today. You were awesome. We'll see you again next week, ladies and gentlemen. Yinzer legend, Coach Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, Coach.
A lot of good stuff out here.
Good drop. Good drop. Get that chin right in the shoulder. Looks so natural.
Thank you. It's going to be uncomfortable for me, I think, with a helmet on, too. And shoulder pads. That's going to be...
Yeah.
It's Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were telling him to do.
Right, to look out the bottom.
That's like Aaron. What didn't Aaron used to...
When he first came in the league, yeah.
That's such a big deal if you think about it. Like, hey, we need your drop to be the same as Justin Jefferson's route. So let's go ahead and make that happen. All right, we'll make our picks on the other side. We'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye from Oregon tomorrow. Oh, just remember that. It's Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday, right?
Wow. One thing leads to another.
I kind of forgot until Kirk was talking about old Pac-12 rivalry.
Oh, yeah. Big
Crowd's
one.
going to be good.
Big one.
USC, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. We're putting a lot on these students. Hey.
Yeah.
And it's like.
It's a big school.
Yeah, but they show up. Their crowds are awesome. Like, always awesome. Like, historically great crowds. Oregon. And it's like, we put them back like 3 weeks back to back, basically. It's like.
Till IU, though. That was the conversation. Their fan base is rampant. They love this shit. They have one of the best home field advantages in all of college football.
I think they're doing a Animal House toga celebration.
See? Big rival, too. Classic rival. I mean, going back to Pac-10 even. And then also, based on the rankings, like, Oregon can't afford to lose another game. Like, every week is kind of their Super Bowl from here on out. So I think they'll be juiced up
And
ready
still
to go.
very much in it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
USC's awesome too. To Ty's
win.
point, like it's going to be a great game because Oregon needs to win, and USC still has the belief. Like,
Lurking.
yeah, we got everything
lurking.
in front of us, and they got NFL dudes.
That graphic was at 10.5. Line also at 9.5. Here's some Hembo stats. Lincoln Riley against the spread with more than a field goal underdog. At USC, he's 7-2. At Oklahoma, he's 2-1-1. You do those numbers together, 9-3-1. That's 75%. Is that good or not?
Yeah.
And if we were to
Sounds
combine
about bad.
stats here, because Hembo does this, remember from a few weeks ago when they traveled to Notre Dame, where the whole entire thing was, when they travel over 1,000 miles, that his against the spread's terrible. This is not over 1,000 miles. So if you were to kind of do that with that stat, I wonder how many of those against the spreads that he lost were over 1,000 miles of travel.
Interesting.
Notre Dame this year, I believe they didn't cover.
No, they did not cover because I rode with that fucking asshole stats. Hey, let's go, USC.
What? Whose stats?
Or I'm thinking of the opposite. I faded the stats of the over 1,000.
Yeah. I thought it was a real stat. You
Yeah.
thought it was a fake stat.
I was like, fuck this.
I used it on game day. That's how much I like that stat. I'm like, hey, this is a problem they have yet to figure out. I don't know if it's the way they're feeding them. I don't know if it's the way they're traveling. I don't know what it is. But these dudes are not good whenever they got to travel a long way. I think that's a trend. They broke it.
Yeah.
Congrats to them.
Yeah.
Huge win, Illinois.
No, they lost on the last second field goal, but I think they covered. Ooh.
I think
They traveled.
No, they lost to Illinois.
They traveled somewhere really far away though and won this year.
They Northwestern. Or no, that was at home at Nebraska.
There it is.
Nebraska.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Coach Rule, can't wait to catch up with him again next week.
Yep.
Cannot wait for that.
Wow.
We also had a chance to talk to an absolute legend and a man who has an opportunity to be an absolute GOAT. And what he's doing down in Miami is obviously spectacular, especially because spectacular, just especially with, is that right?
I believe you nailed it. Yes.
He's the best. McCarthy is the best.
Yes.
Like, how could you not watch?
Trying to figure out the mechanics of this TV thing.
Yeah, I'm getting to it. I'm learning. And then him dropping out, just started spinning, huh?
Yeah.
Thought we weren't on the internet till 2.
Think about him going, oh, no.
The hell's going on
I got to
here?
do this one time, and now I got to do it 2 times? This is the worst part of my day is figuring out how to connect this shit. Worst part of my week is trying to connect this call. Now I got to do it twice in one show. He's the best. But it was spectacular to catch up with a man who has a chant for him down in the Dolphins locker room currently. How's that chant go, Gumpy?
Jack Jones. Jack Jones. Jack Jones.
We caught up with Jack Jones. A stud from Arizona State. A man who has the capability to take over any game whenever. The last 2 weeks for the Miami Dolphins, this man has become a pillar for a success story that seemingly was impossible for this Dolphins family in this current season. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Jones.
Appreciate it.
How are you, Jack?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, man. Okay, so let's talk about it. Obviously, game-winning interception this past week. Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, especially hola, you're saying hola to Spain, obviously. What was the mindset with the international game and where you guys are at right now as you took on the Commanders?
The international game was it was kind of tough to start off the week because Spain is 6 hours ahead. And then it's like 9 hours ahead from Cali, where I'm from. So it was kind of tough. But once I got used to it, then you love the city. Spain took care of us, showed us great hospitality, and the fans was lit in the stadium. So I don't know, the atmosphere was crazy.
Okay, Jack. Every international game seemingly crazy. I think one of my favorite stories from any international game this season comes from you. Allegedly, before, the interception against Marcus Mariota, you told the team, boys, stop the run. Okay, you just stop the run. This guy's going to throw me a ball. That is just how this is going to work. Did you know that? Was that a sense from film study, from the game, or why in that moment? And are you a chirpy guy? Are you one of the leaders of this team now, especially with where the Dolphins are trying to head to?
Yeah, I would like to say I'm one of the leaders on the team, being one of the older guys who've been in the league and been around a little bit. So, yeah, I would like to say that. But I think it was more so the game. As the flow of the game was going, I felt like I had an opportunity at 2 other picks. I should have left the game with about 3 picks, but, he threw one of them over my head, and that was a coverage against Debo. They called it a bad PI call. And then there was one on the sideline where they called it uncatchable, and they tried to call that one PI too, but Mike McDaniels went crazy on the sideline and made the refs wave off the flag. But if I would have turned my head around and found the ball, I could have left the game with 3 picks. So I just was feeling, I'm like, man, then he going to throw me one, man. And I felt like OT, I was like, they're going to try to run the ball, so I got to talk to the tackling leader in the NFL, let him go stop that run, and that boy going to throw me the rock, and we going to light it up in the plane.
And it ended up working out exactly how you thought it would, which is spectacular. And I think, we're going to highlight this today in a good D segment. So D-Butt will have a question for you about this play, I believe, here in a matter of moments. But let's talk about what you just said there about Mike McDaniel going crazy on the sideline for them to pick up a flag. Obviously, I didn't play for a team that he coached. I've never really been around him. Outside looking in, seems like a unique fella. Okay, seems like a very unique man. They fire Greer, obviously general manager who'd been there for a long time, which basically kind of says like, hey, McDaniel, this is kind of your team right now, kind of what you want to do. How has the building been rallying around him, and what is he like as a coach, as a player for him? Because I don't think any of us truly can talk about that much.
I think he's actually a great person, and he actually cares for his players. He's not one of those like where he's not understanding. He's understanding with all the players, and he gives players, opportunities. And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm here. He gives players opportunities, and I think Mike is a good coach. And I'm actually glad that they kept Mike, and I appreciate Greer for giving me the opportunity, but I'm glad they kept Mike.
Yeah, it feels like players love him. We enjoy whenever he talks because it's entertaining. I mean, he's an entertaining fella. He sounds like nobody else that is a coach in the NFL. And on that note, Miami's like nowhere else in the NFL, I think, as well. Obviously, you were in Las Vegas for a little bit. Sin City has its own thing. New York City, obviously massive. Los Angeles, massive. Foxborough and Boston, obviously vastly different than all those other places, but still big city. Miami feels like a lot of distractions for me. Now, if I would have been drafted to Miami, and I'm only know this because the conversations I had with Vontae, rest in peace to Vontae, fucking love that dude. But Vontae was drafted to Miami Dolphins. Me and Vontae pretty similar type humans with how we wanted to live our lives. So when he gets the Indianapolis Colts and I start talking to him and hearing stories, I'm like, if I would have got drafted to Miami Dolphins, I'd be fucking dead right now. I don't even know what it would be. Feels like there's a lot of distractions down there. So I've always kind of had the thought, like, are the Dolphins even capable of fielding 53 professional athlete age guys to stay focused and try to win down there with all the distractions Miami has? What has it been like being a Dolphin? And do you think that you guys are able to be a team that can go on a real run with everything that happens outside down there?
It is a lot that goes on around Miami, but I honestly think that you just got to lock in. I can't sit here and say that the distractions don't mess up the players because, you got players coming from college. They just got paid and, they living in Miami, probably never been in Miami before. So I can't say that. But you just got to find a group of guys who care about football more than partying. You know what I'm saying? So if you got guys that care about football more than partying, then you're not going to ever let the partying mess up your football, you know what I'm saying? But I think we got a team this year, even though we are a new team, rookies and guys just got signed in the offseason during training camp. I think we're a pretty good team, and the way we're starting to gel together late in the season is showing everybody, what type of team we can be if we just keep it going and keep stacking bricks.
Well, congratulations on finding a group of guys that are able to do that because I was drafted when I was 21. If 21-year-old me was dropped into Miami, and, all I knew was Wayne saying, live on Sunday, King of Diamonds Monday. It's like, I'm going to Miami. I got to at least go check these places out. And then from what I've heard, once you check these places out, wow, these do live up to the hype.
Sweet.
Yeah. These do.
It is pretty sweet. It is.
Great hospitality.
So a lot of hospitality, a lot of opportunity down there, from what I've been told. So it's like, I think finding a team or fielding a team down there, especially with the type of humans that are in football versus maybe other sports. Now the Heat obviously able to do it, so it is certainly something. But I think that is an added distraction that doesn't get talked about enough. Now let's talk about you guys going to Spain and getting a big time win. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, we talked about that interception. You've had some of my favorite interceptions that I've seen in the NFL, period. Just great instincts on the field. You talked about being one of the older guys in the locker room now. How has your game prep changed? Watching film, getting ready for the game, and kind of getting in the moment and letting your instincts take over. One of the plays, I think it was maybe last year or the year before, that pick six. Again, plays like you don't see shit like this. Rarely do you see a play like this. So how has your game prep kind of evolved throughout the evolution of your career?
Now, can we break down this play? Because I kind of feel like this play blew up, but it didn't really blow up how it's supposed to. Really think about this play. This is a screen play behind the backfield. I am a cornerback going behind the backfield, catching it one hand, taking it to the end zone. That's ridiculous.
That's elite. I agree.
Hey, gas your shit. I like that. Hey, listen, we're on the Raiders. Not a lot of people talking a lot of good things, but let's talk about I had to commit. Yeah. I didn't know this was happening, and if I miss this shit's out the gate the other way.
Yeah, it's out the gate.
Yeah, okay. You just want to make sure we all understand what took place there. Okay, got it. But on that note, you're an incredible ball hawk. I mean, it feels like your feel, right?
Yeah, because you can't just go out there and just, you got to anticipate that. Was it 4x1, or maybe you saw the back down the distance? So, like I said, going into these games, what's kind of how do you get ready for Sundays or Thursdays, Mondays, whenever you're playing?
I think it's film study, man. Definitely film study and the coaches. One thing that I changed, that I didn't really do when I was coming up, like college, maybe like a little bit of my first year when I was with the Patriots, is I didn't really listen to the coaches. I listened to the coaches, but I was listening to the coaches as far as what plays we had to run. So when they was talking about the other team, it was just it'd go blank for me, because it was a point in time in college where I honestly stopped watching film. I was a film junkie. We used to have film days. Me and my boy, we'll go just watch film together after practice. And I remember it was one week in college, man. They told me, he was like, man, we're gonna have you guard this receiver. You know what I'm saying? You following him wherever he go around the field. So I'm like, for sure, that made me watch film crazy. I watched film the most I ever watched that week. So then when I was watching film, I noticed that every time the quarterback does a rollout to the right, the ex receiver he does a comeback. So it just so happened that play comes up in a game, and I jumped it so crazy. I guess he changed his route and he ran a streak, and then so I kind of just blamed film on that. I was like, I was like, I'm way too instinctual just to go out there guessing plays. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like film at one point. This was at one point. Film helped me. Film was hurting me by, I would look at a play and I'll try to guess that play, but it's 3 different plays out of that formation, so I can't just guess that play. I have to anticipate that play, and I think that's what the coaches taught me. How to watch film and how to anticipate versus guessing. And then I also think that the coaches they're more correct than I am. You know what I'm saying? They sit there and watch the film for millions of hours versus me, you know what I'm saying, versus my 5,000 hours or whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? So I listen to the coaches and then go out there and let my instincts play.
I love the fact, this is like when fat people have a salad for the first time and they shit their pants, because the salad,
see, this isn't good for me.
That's why I don't eat salad. That's why I don't do it. I shit my pants. You watching film, they got me one-on-one with a guy. I'm going to know everything about this guy because I'm going to beat this dude's ass. And then it happens I fucking know what we're doing right here. And then touchdown, never watching film again. I don't even know why. I'm happy you got back on board with it.
Because it's a big difference. It is a big difference between guessing plays, especially as a DB, guessing plays and anticipating plays. And
absolutely.
You see a split, you see a release, and it's okay, lining up, it's three options. And then kind of as you get into that down, it's okay, now I know. And then you put that foot in the ground because the quarterbacks, it's too good. You can't just be out there reacting and trying to guard the whole route tree. So learning that difference. Sometimes it's a coach, sometimes it's players and OGs who teach you, okay, this system, this coaching tree, this, that. So I love to hear that from you and probably a lot of other players in the league as well. Hell yeah.
Yeah, most def. That's a fact.
How long have you had the grill? The grill is awesome. It's got to be one of the best in the league. You froze up here, but how long have you had that grill? That's got to. Justin Jefferson has a great one.
Yeah, this is good.
Justin Jefferson has a great one.
Yeah, I got a funny story about the grill, but I had the grill about a year now. It's been about a year I had it. I really don't wear the grill like that, so I decided to wear the Bills week. I was like, man, I'm gonna just wear the grill. Why not? Swag it out. So I wore the grill, and I had a pretty good game. So everybody coming to the locker room, everybody on the team like, yo, Jack, when we go to Spain, don't pack no clothes. Just bring the grill.
It seems to be working. I love that you are very much like, hey, it's working right now. Let's just keep it going. Yeah, grill works.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks so nice. A South Florida, Miami DB making the plays that you're making, I think grill is a necessity almost at that point. Let's continue to chat about you, the human. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Jack, as a Patriots fan, it's been awesome following your career. You still got a lot of love in New England. I know a lot of Patriots fans who are big fans of yours, and that kind of all started your rookie year, and you didn't have really a welcome to the NFL moment, but you had a pick six on one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of football, Aaron Rodgers, in Lambeau, and that was something I think everybody was like, okay, this is an absolute dude. When stuff like that happened your rookie year, did you kind of realize, okay, I can dominate at this level? Was that something, that when you make a play like that on a Hall of Fame quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, it just gave you kind of a bunch more confidence than you already had?
You got to be delusional with this, man. You got to be sick in the head, like absolutely gone. Like you have to, I never lose. Like I was in high school thinking I could go up to the highest level and win. Like, so it wasn't like I got to the NFL and I found that confidence. I've been confident. I've been one of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just about me going out there showing that's all it is.
What sports? What other sports?
I ain't playing no other sport. I tried basketball, but I ain't no basketball player, man. I like to hit people.
You're the greatest, Jack. All right, last question here comes from Ty.
Yeah, Jack, a couple weeks ago at the trade deadline, and I don't think, definitely not the case in you guys' building, but the media, we're talking about, hey, the Dolphins are going to be sellers. We see Jalen Phillips get traded and a bunch of other guys' names kind of get floated out there, and kind of the narrative is, okay, the Dolphins are packing it in. They're starting to look ahead towards next year. But then after that big win on Sunday in the last couple weeks, and then what you guys have ahead of you, does it feel like, hey, okay, we weathered the storm. We're all the way back right now, and we still have everything we want to achieve in front of us?
Absolutely. I mean, we know that it's going to take a couple moving pieces to get to where we want to go, and then also us, playing dominant football, so we understand that. We just got to keep going, man. Play it week by week. We got the Saints coming up next week, so go out there, attack that, come out victorious that week, and then move on from it. But we got to win games, and pieces got to be moved around and for us to make the playoffs, and we know that. So, but we believe in our head that it can happen. So it can happen.
Yeah, delusional, man. Got to be. I mean, that's literally half. How you have to, yes, you do. AQ has a question for you about all the messaging here.
Yeah. On that note, what has coach's messaging been like as you dug yourself a hole early, as you just touched on? Now you're climbing your way out of it. What has his messaging been?
Do we have a motto or a mantra? Any of that shit?
Yeah, be convicted. I mean, I think he says that all the time in the media. Be convicted. You know what I'm saying? Trust the team, trust the process. It's pretty simple, man. We all know, like, you can feel it in the building, like where it was like, damn, we're a really good team, but something is not clicking. But like, what is it? And for some reason, just from what I got from the team, it didn't really seem like a big question to where like guys started to change their formula and change their everyday routine. They just kept going and putting one foot in front of another, trusting the coaches, and it's starting to look the way it should. And I think that's the way it should be. Just keep trusting the coaches, putting one foot in front of another, because this is a tough league, man. And every coach, every player go out there and train as hard as they can to get that dub on Sunday.
All right, well, good luck out there down the stretch. We can't wait to watch. We're on bye week right now, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how's it going? Where we got any plans? Obviously, we taking care of business through it all, but what do you have going on?
Nothing, man. I just honestly came back home, see my babies, and then I'm gonna go back out to Miami, start training. I'm not taking the whole week off. It's still work to be done.
Tell the babies we said hello. We appreciate you joining us. You're the man. Keep killing it, and it's been fun to watch your entire story, dude. A lot of people.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
A lot of people not perfect, myself included. I have one of the worst mugshots of all time. But watching you kind of go through everything here and continue to battle and continue to show up, and then watching your locker room fall in love with you down there in Miami is sick. You should know that us all watching, big fans, dude. Keep going.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it for real.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Jones.
Yay, Jack!
Hey,
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this NFL Week 12 kickoff Thursday, November 20th, 2025, Hour 3 of the program begins now. Football is magical. That's AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here. Tone, I think it's almost time for us to make our official pick.
Ooh, here we go.
Coach McCarthy, so I'm going to go against Grant here. Okay, and that is what his hat maybe look like on top of his head as well. Chevy riding high, boy. I appreciate you doing that. And obviously, you and him had a great moment about the Minnesota Vikings and how we don't really pay attention to them as Packers fans. And then you and Kirk had a great moment earlier today as well that is seemingly captivating the internet where you got really
you did get upset.
You got pretty hostile with Kirk Herbstreit there. You know, the internet has responded in a manner in which expected, I think. Yeah, I kind of expected. That's going big. I think it was one of your best outbursts I've seen in some time.
Well, and I should have cut, because I love Herbie. I do. You know, that was just a moment. I may have woken up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, you know, and I was kind of just waiting for someone to just give me an opportunity. And he did. And he did. And Herbie did. But I should have thought that a lot of people who he maybe picks against their teams on Saturdays were going to co-sign and be like, thank you. Fuck this dude. This guy sucks. That certainly wasn't the angle I was coming from. But hey, you know, sometimes things just happen.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that. A lot of people going, thank you, Ty. I've always wanted to say that. Yeah,
I didn't realize that'd be the internet reaction so quickly. But yeah, I guess there's a lot. If Kirk's picked against your team, they hate him for life, probably, right?
Yes. As somebody that will speak for experience, yes, that is a tough show. You know, interaction wise, that. Yeah, I mean, they're actually watching the picks, and they're paying attention to who you're picking, how you're picking them, why you're picking them. You know, a couple teams, I've seen some students or alumni or whatever do the percentage of times I picked their team versus picking against their team. Why have I picked their team? Like, full breakdown. This guy hates us. We need to stop being nice to this guy whenever he comes to town. You know, they really, it's a spot when you're picking against an entire cult, which there's a lot of them. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of cults out there. You know that. Ohio State's one.
So it makes it great. So it makes sports great.
Exactly. And you're picking against one of these cults for sure. And at least 4 times you got to pick against the cult each Saturday. Yeah. And it's like, all right.
You got to take that personal.
I've kind of mailed it in on a few this year. Saban said something. Yep, I kind of... He said it.
Sure, yep.
Yeah, he said it. Go ahead and get there, because at the end, I'm going to very much get some.
Yeah, you're going to bury somebody.
The loudest.
Yeah.
The loudest, yeah. That's been fun kind of figuring that out as the year has gone on, I must say. I really, because going back to Oregon, I'm like, how is it going to be there? Like, legitimate.
See, they lost, though. Like, you were on the right side of that. So I think, like, when that happens, like, you're justified. Mm-hmm. Now, if you do that whole, spiel, song and dance, and then Oregon goes out and they win by, like, 4 touchdowns, then, yeah, like, you're going to get heat, but you picked the right team.
Coach Dan Lanning will be joining the program tomorrow, I believe, from out there in Eugene. I can't wait to catch up with him. You know, he obviously, he understands what's going on. You know, he gets it. He was not thrilled, I don't think, about me picking Indiana at Oregon, because
he might love it.
How I feel. Them losing to Indiana, he might love. That might have been something that would have been very good for his team, throughout the entire process. But what he did for game day, he took his shirt off out there.
Yeah. Yes,
I mean, he's like such a good, for us, he drives from travel as far as he does in the morning, hops in a Sprinter van, drives from airport all the way out to the Thunderdome for us. He's SID, not happy about it at all. Dan Lanning does good. Like, we love Dan Lanning. I love Dan Lanning. I love Dan Lanning football. I love everything about it. Their fans are insane. I mean, those game day sets those shots are just magnificent with how early it is and everything. And Dan Lanning taking his shirt off. I mean, this is 6:30 a.m. or whatever, local time. And he got Dan Lanning out there with the students just going crazy in the middle of it. It's a special place to have out there. Far It's far. It's out there.
It is. That's why they appreciate it so much. Also, is Dan Lanning's a lefty? How he did his little hand? It looks like he's a lefty. I didn't know that.
Oh, running back. I don't know. Normally, I can tell if somebody's a lefty or not. Is it a fist pump or is it a shirt thing? What is it?
It's just a one-handed like finger. Yeah. In a second, whenever he gets his shirt off, you'll see.
Okay.
Not a hip hip hooray, is it?
Here we go. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I think you do that with your dominant hand usually.
Yeah, I think you would do that. But also, shirt came off on right hand, so maybe he wanted finger.
Possible.
Because it could have been audible real much. Look natural lefty, though, right? Is what you're saying?
Ambidextrous.
Yeah. Would you ever do that normal with
Go
your
back
left?
to that. Run that again. I don't think I ever have.
I could see it.
Shirt off. Goes to right hand. Right dominant, maybe. Shirt goes to right hand.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right though, because the shirt is still over his wrist, so you can't
do the finger thing.
You would have flipped it. You'd have flipped it to your left and done right hand woo if you did.
You think? But he might have felt like in the moment need one right now is the right time.
Right. We'll ask him tomorrow. We'll get to the bottom of it tomorrow.
Any chance you remember to ask him that tomorrow or no?
Yeah. For sure. We got it.
Yeah, you certainly remember stuff. Yeah, you certainly don't just.
I say remember. Don't say don't. Hey, don't let me forget. No, absolutely not. I will remember. Let me tell my boom. It's in there.
I do that sometimes though. I do that as well, where I go, hey, want to remember this. Want to remember this to myself.
Yeah.
Want to remember this. Want to remember this. Looking around. This is awesome. Like right now, I just went back to a situation I was in. I was like, you kind of take like a scan almost with your brain. Remember. And it does feel like it does lock it in a little bit. Now, I think you say that like for a lot of things, and then you just live moment to moment, you know?
You're right. I do live in the moment, but I do try to remember things when I want to. It's tough. It's a tough balance, right?
What's that?
Tough balance. It's a tough balance. It really is to live in the moment, but also remember what you have coming up in the near future.
Yeah, it's hard. That's chess players. That's how those chess players get after it, you know? You may be the most in the moment guy I've ever encountered. I like to be where my feet be, but boy, just the amount of, I didn't know that, the amount of like those types of things and then all in at the moment. You might be the most positive all in the moment guy that I've ever encountered, even though brain very toxic at all times, trying to potentially win the war.
Yep.
Just like 9 and JJ.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I do not know. I don't get
exactly.
it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's AJ and 50.
Yeah, let's talk about 9 and JJ. What is your take on it? Obviously, we've all kind of had our conversation about it. I think he has a chance to get better, and it'll be a good story long term. They say J.J. McCarthy's awesome. Everybody likes everything about J.J. McCarthy, his moxie, his leadership, the way he goes about hanging with the boys, everything about him. They like 9 on the field, obviously going through some shit right now with the Minnesota Vikings offense, with what the expectation of the offense is, what we've seen the offense be, and what his performance is. Now, granted, he has some dog in him for sure, and in big moments he makes some plays, but there isn't a consistency. So now it's like he needs to develop. I think everything we know about JJ will tell me that 9 will develop, is what I think. Yeah. Do you feel the same way? And is that good for the Minnesota Vikings or bad? Because the thought of, I think Sherm said it to Kirk Herbstreit, if Kirk Herbstreit was remembering the story well, Mac Jones, think about him.
That's starting to get steam.
Everything he does.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Everything he does. It's like if you could get Kevin O'Connell with Brock Purdy, would you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. What if you can get with a taller Brock Purdy that we just saw kind of the last few weeks?
Win a bunch of games.
Isn't that who has a lot of football under his belt? He's seen a lot of defenses.
Been to the playoffs.
Yeah, he has kind of been there, which is with this mid-season or mid-career resurgence thing that's happening. It's like, they're going to have to stay committed to the development of JJ, and maybe they reap the benefits from it, obviously. But then there's going to be the constant, hey, you had Dimes, you had Darnold, Aaron wanted it, Mac was available. Like all that shit gets real loud, especially when your team's ready to go. I don't know what the right answer is, honestly. I think developing a guy who's going to be a guy is obviously the right play. But like, what does that mean for today? And that's tough, especially when we live in the moment, you know.
Yeah, how many games they have left? Do we know how many games left this year?
Week 12's coming up. Have they already had their bye?
7.
Yes,
4 and 6.
Yeah, he's got to show like improvement and growth when it comes to like his footwork and accuracy. We know accuracy is a thing. It's tough. I know we've talked about it over the years on the show. Like, can you can you get much better at your if you came in and you were an errant passer of the ball, but you had a strong arm in college, how do you like hone in on your accuracy now? I think Josh Allen has changed that for a lot of people. Like he was not nearly as accurate as he is now when he first came into the league. So you can get better. But yeah, it's all those little things. Like listen to any great quarterback talk about. Like it's all like footwork, fundamentals, all like the boring stuff that people don't get. That guys like Tom Brady, Aaron, all these great quarterbacks, every single day their whole life they've been doing like all the tiny little footwork and all the little things that add up to become big things that give you a chance to be accurate when it truly matters.
You can be good sometimes with just raw talent, you know, but the fundamentals are called fundamentals for a reason. Like this is what you're going to have to be great at if you want to be great. All the greats are good at this. I think you go through any sport, the greats are great at the fundamentals. Whatever the basic shit is that you have to be able to do, all the people that are great at all the things, they can do them. Now, does it come easier to some people than other people? Potentially. Are some of them, though, just workaholics and workhorses and don't get bored being bored working on the things that are boring to work on? You know, that is a big piece of being great. That's that competitive stamina. And I think that's all JJ was saying. I think JJ was saying, hey, listen, I'm out and by. I'm trying to get shot. He's not getting bored at all. He's trying to expedite the entire process, and the development could be very real. But what if you do all this and it never, you know, because you talked about accuracy. Accuracy used to be something you either had or you didn't. And then you brought up Josh Allen was like a great development. That's right. I mean, he allegedly put lasers on his body, and he obviously had incredible arm talent. Like, I think everybody knew he could throw that thing like this, he could throw that thing like this, he could throw that thing like this. But they were like, if you get this thing actually locked in, fundamentally sound, guess what? You'll be a lot more accurate. You know why everybody who's accurate throws the same way? Because that's the most accurate way to throw a fucking football. So you need to do that. He went to work his ass off on that. And to your point, Age, I think that he changed how we all view it. Like I didn't think you could develop that skill. I thought you either had it or you didn't have it because I thought it was more of a mental thing. But then whenever they're like, no, whenever everybody's like, I think they were saying about Drake May too.
Yes.
They were saying about Drake May, how Drake May's footwork and his feet just weren't good. And you could see it with younger guys. Anthony Richardson we saw with, like, he had incredible talent, but like whenever you're standing square to your target, like
marry your feet. Remember, didn't Aaron just say you got to marry your feet to your arm and your upper body? Like they have to be in sync, have to be together to give you a chance, I think, to make a play when it's 3rd and 7 and you got a tight window to fit that thing into.
And maybe you make one of those because you're so talented. Like maybe you're able to stand square and like jump and make a throw, and it's like, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, now we got another play right now, bro. Okay, and we need a similar throw. Are you going to be able to feel your way through that again? Oh, maybe you are. Okay, good. Let's get now to a 3rd down in the red zone where everything gets a lot smaller, and you do the same thing, and it's just a little bit off. And then bang, they snatch it. It's like, hey, if you would have fucking just get your feet right and actually threw the ball like how you're supposed to since you're a kid, they've deemed this the best way to throw a football is this way. You are in the NFL, throw the fucking football like this, please. That is basically the conversation that happens with these young guys. A lot of them, especially as the more and more athletic quarterbacks come through the NFL. Josh Allen was one of them. Drake is another one. JJ, see, I don't think we view him as one of those like super high-end freak athletes, right? I don't. In my mind,
he's got a super strong arm, and he is very athletic. But you're right. Like we haven't seen him use it as much. He has the mentality that, like, that's what I do love is his mentality, the whole 9 thing. You can get caught up in that, but what's tough is when guys, you think, hey, can this guy develop or not? And you kind of question how much he cares. Like, I don't question how much old Jage cares. Like, Jage loves ball. We know that. So if he's going to develop and become more accurate, like, he's going to do whatever it takes to try to become that guy. Now, we'll see if it happens, I guess.
I agree on that. I think we all believe that J.J. McCarthy is going to get better at something if he puts his mind to it.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue, and you hit the nail on the head, is he hasn't had very many starts, so like he does need to develop, obviously. But like you said, like this team was 1 win away from getting the number 1 overall seed last year. Like, and everyone said going into the season, hey, if they get average quarterback play, this team should be in the NFC Championship. Like when you look at Josh Allen, the development, like no one was expecting those Bills teams. They weren't on the precipice of like going to a Super Bowl right before that. It was like, hey, if we can develop this guy, we'll be where we want to be in 3 to 4 years when he actually
kicking it down the road.
Exactly. That's not the case with the Vikings. Like they had Sam Darnold, and I understand the playoffs went how they went, but they were there. They were knocking on the door, and the idea was, hey, hey, if we get this guy, we'll kick that door in. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's not fair to blame all this on JJ because
situation.
He's young. He needs to develop, but that was kind of what was thrust upon him is, hey, when you get in here, you need to pick up the ball and run with it because this team is ready to win a Super Bowl. Look at their defense. They're by no means young. They've paid a lot of guys. Like, they were ready to go right now, so they don't really have the luxury of, hey, it's okay. It'll take this guy a little time to develop. They are not in that position.
And to Ty's point, too, like, paid offensive linemen in free agency, 2 of them, Ryan Kelly and Will Fries from Indianapolis, paid defensive linemen. Now they lost like a Cam Bynum and some other players, but for the most part, they were spenders this offseason because they thought they were going to be that good. I will say, though, hearing the press conferences and kind of understanding a little bit more what's going on, definitely do believe in J.J. McCarthy as a quarterback in Minnesota. It's just there has to be, like Josh Allen, there has to be some sort of improvement that like you can legitimately see. And it can't just be the, hey, most important time of the game, he's playing great. Because a lot of the times, those teams that, you're hanging around with and that you do, edge out in the end, those teams aren't going to be there in the end. Like, those are the teams also that are kind of squeaking by and then get exposed by the best of the best teams, like the Rams or Seattle or the Colts or the Broncos, like Philly, bingo. Like, I won't say Lions because right now, but the Lions are getting a bunch of guys back on defense. That'll be really cool to see. But still, all of those top
calling
teams.
plays up there?
I don't know.
Who's calling plays up there?
This week is MCDC.
But you're right, though. You're 100% right, though. Whenever, as...
Like, him saying that stuff makes me think, like, okay, maybe he's not just exactly what he was in college. I mean, we know he's a hockey player. He's a fucking hard worker, and the team loves him. But a lot of shit is going on behind the scenes with him changing how he plays quarterback that I, at least, was not aware of until he said it.
He's just being very transparent as well. I think there's a lot of development happening to a lot of young players, especially if they have to come into a new system, new scheme, new game. So they're working on stuff all the time. Like, I'm a punter, so I can only speak from personal experience. It's like I changed my drop completely, which is obviously like a scary thing for a punter to do. Their drop is kind of the entirety of the punt. How your drop.
Where'd you go from to what was the next thing?
So I had to tilt it in. Like this because I used to watch other people do it, and they always murdered the ball, it looked like. And it turns out with the tilt in, if that thing was to move at all anymore, that thing is, with my leg swing, that thing's going like...
I did that a few times in high school, I put it into the stand.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I had a couple of those. I'm like, oh, this ain't good. Yeah, I'm going to get fired. I'm not going to have a job anymore. So I straightened the drop out a little bit more. And then even into like my second, third year, I think even into my fourth year, I was changing when I was dropping it during the season because it was like stuff that I was working on. Even day of game, I would like adjust something. I'm like, ooh, actually, I'm going to hang on to this a little bit longer. So like that's the most, I think there's always like an evolution or development happening, especially at a younger age at every single position. I assume there was shit that you had to work on as well, I assume?
Always, always something.
Do footwork here. Footwork.
Hands is a big thing. Luke Fickle taught me in college, taught me to use my hands. Like, that changes everything.
So he's being very transparent, I think, as opposed to maybe what other people would be doing. Joining us now is a man who's very transparent on every thought that he's ever had. You're going to hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Orlovsky.
Hey, Dan.
Good light.
Wow, nice shirt.
Sucks. Good. Look great.
You look really cool right now. Just want to let you know that. You look really cool.
Oh, I don't like this with the cars zooming by.
Yeah, exactly. What's this guy doing?
This is a cold call. He answered. We appreciate him doing that. But we will live with constant anxiety that somebody in your rear view there will just not, stop and just come right into our camera.
I'm further off the road than it looks. I'm a good 10 feet off.
Well, objects in the mirror closer than they appear too. So there's a lot of different.
I have flashers on. Yep.
Okay, sounds good.
Very adult.
Maybe stick your head out the roof.
Is your Jeep still bright orange?
Flares out back.
Yeah, maybe put flares. You're right. Maybe just let people know that it's happening. Dan, thanks for the hidden yardage tweet. That was fun. Hidden yardage, obviously. Caleb Williams constantly most of my hidden yardage in the history. Hidden yardage is in special teams, brother. Okay? So don't be giving me some quarterback stat about hidden yardage. I don't need to hear it, okay? Maybe bonus yardage, if you want to call it, or like super duper after being tackled stat yardage shit. Okay, don't be taking hidden yardage. Okay, that's our game.
I like bonus yardage. I could alter that. I can appreciate that. Sure.
Okay, I'm happy. Okay.
Or stamp it. Dano yards.
Call him Dan yards.
Yeah.
Dan and Parcells. Because
Orlovsky's.
I think Big Tuna was a big fan of the bonus yardage that you were referring to there with Caleb, who should be sacked, but instead his EPA goes up because he's Caleb and he's able to do Caleb stuff. So he's got super duper bonus yards. It's actually hidden within the stat book because if he was to be sacked, that yard's not going to hit stat book. That's a bonus yard, right?
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, you're going to be able to say something better than we could ever say because you're a quarterback and had to develop. J.J. McCarthy being as transparent as he is about what is happening behind the scenes in the development of him being a quarterback. Good thing, bad thing, and what is your kind of takeaway of how it's all going out there for Minnesota with all the other quarterback options that we know they had at the time with the team that they had?
Yeah, I can always appreciate transparency. I think that, I don't know if you guys have heard Kevin O'Connell's comments on him yesterday as well. I believe it was yesterday or sometime this week about kind of what they're trying to get figured out and some of the mechanical stuff that they're working through. I thought Kevin O'Connell's vantage point of it was fascinating. It's JJ's been really interesting this year because there's so many throws on tape that you sit there and say, that is perfect. It looks perfect. And then there's a throw that would happen, 5 passes later that it blows your mind how bad of a miss it is. And so I live in the world, I don't find that to be you're inaccurate. I find it to be you're having some very egregious misses. And don't get me wrong, the misses are awful. And it makes no sense as to why. And so when you try to figure out, okay, what's going on with them, I think you find out the mechanical inefficiencies and the mechanical differences. I've heard Aaron talk about this, that accuracy starts from the ground up. McCarthy overstrides. He's not a big dude. So when he overstrides, I think the first thing that you see is he is a front or back to front thrower. He's a back instead of a rotational person. So when you're back to front, I think it's always going to vary when the ball comes out of your hands. And so that's why you see some of those egregious misses. I think the second thing is you see almost like watching a pitcher on a baseball mound. His right leg flies all the way through. If you guys put up video of Joe Burrow at practice yesterday, if you guys could pull up that video, watch Joe's right leg. It very rarely leaves the ground. It's just same with Josh Allen. It stays on the ground instead of almost like the old school pitcher off the pitcher's mound. So I think he becomes so on his front leg, the weight follows through. The other thing is his shoulders are constantly flat, no matter if he's throwing a ball 5 yards or 25 yards. You got to have a little bit of a tilt with your front shoulder, and then you see his left shoulder constantly fly open. I think that keeps him completely exposed on the front side instead of Tom Brady was the guy that I think first of keep that left shoulder tucked, keep that left shoulder. So I think he's just got some really fixable but extreme, mechanical things they got to figure out.
Dan, what do you know about putting your jaw on shoulder during a drop back?
Yeah, I don't know a ton about that. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if I see a ton of guys do it.
Whoa.
Oh, you smarter than Mike McCarthy. That's crazy. Holy fuck.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
You said it without saying it.
I want to punch and pull. I want to punch and pull. I want to punch.
Punch and pull, yeah.
Oh, you agree with that, huh? Is that okay? That one's okay?
I didn't disagree with it. I said I don't know it.
Punch and pull. Let's go ahead and flip those hips here. Let's go chin on shoulder looking downfield. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and rip that thing.
Rip it.
JJ's going to be good?
Yeah, dude, I think he's still very talented. I think he's going to be a good player. Probably undervalued all the time missed. I thought mechanically that was a strength of his coming out of Michigan. And so the injury last year and then the injury this year, I think he's missed time. I also think he's developed really poor habits. And they just got to work through them. I don't think it's going to get fixed this season. I don't believe it's something you can fix in season. It's going to be an off-season fix.
Good luck, Nine.
Go get him now. Good luck, Nine.
Last quarterback question. Obviously, it's a big one. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Dan, 2 quarterbacks played in Pittsburgh. One played the first half, one played the second half. Which half did the Steelers' offense look better last week?
Looked better in the second half. One ball went down the field more.
What's your problem?
I think there was a little bit more of a willingness to hang in the pocket and make a throw when you got a body or a hit. So I think if Aaron doesn't play, I think they'll be okay as a 1-off or 2-off with Mason Rudolph.
Aaron's going to play. I mean,
The
I
Bears.
don't even know what we're talking about here.
It's the Bears.
I don't even know what we're talking about. He made a comment about, I don't know if it was AJ or Aaron. Somebody made a comment basically, it was like his non-throwing arm has something wrong with it. I don't know if you're going to miss a game because of that or whatever. And then I think Aaron said the same thing. Aaron wanted to go back in there. Aaron, old school guy, and let alone it being the Chicago Bears. Now, we have learned some things through a press conference of Aaron Rodgers. You know, he grew up with WGN being one of the 6 channels. He's actually a fan of Chicago, believe it or not.
For you for the opponent this week?
There's incentive for every opponent, but I have enjoyed many a Sunday and Monday and certainly Thursdays in that city. It's a great sports town. Phenomenal sports fans and great place to play.
Aaron, do you sort of thrive off of being the villain there a little bit? You sort of enjoy that aspect?
I'd rather not be. I mean, I'm not in Green Bay anymore. I feel like we can let bygones be bygones. Maybe I can, I guess. It's a great rivalry. I mean, in the history of all sports, you talk about the Lakers and the Celtics and the Red Sox and the Yankees. You got to talk about the Packers and the Bears. And there's been some great memories there. When I first got to Green Bay, the Bears had the all-time series lead. When I left, the Packers did. And since Jay Love has taken over, it's even gotten better. But I hope those fans can put that behind them. I'm sure they can. Don't expect them to, but I really enjoy the city. They got great sports fans. I grew up watching WGN on my five-channel TV back in the day, so I was a Cubs fan and a Bulls fan. How can you not be a Bulls fan unless you don't like Michael Jordan? I did. I loved him. So it was a lot of fun memories over the years playing there.
Yeah, so he's playing, Dan, and they're cheering for him whenever he's jogging out on the field, too. You better understand that. So what should they be looking for with the Aaron Rodgers-led Pittsburgh Steelers offense against the Chicago Bears defense, Dan-O?
Yeah, first of all, Pittsburgh should run the football against them. Chicago's not a very good run defense, and obviously some of the tight ends and the way that they run the football is a really big deal. The Bears defense is predicated 100% off giveaways. If you don't give them the ball, you can move the ball up and down the field on them. It's not a shut you down defense, in part because their whole secondary feels like it's been hurt for the majority of this season. But as long as Aaron's smart with the football, gets it out of his hands, yards after the catch, they'll be fine. Obviously, you got to go score in the red zone, but it's not a defense.
Oh, here it comes!
It's like shaking the car.
Be careful. Be careful.
Get that! Hey, we appreciate you, Dano. All right, so we'll look for the Steelers to run the ball. Darnell, Washington, and Aaron Rodgers will do their thing. Do you have any more TV today? You're done.
No, I'm going to do NFL Live now. Or at 4 o'clock.
Oh, I thought that was a 3 o'clocker. No, of course we know it's 4 o'clock. We watch every day.
Every day.
We watch every day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You do a great fudging job.
Yeah, and why don't you just, hey, Dan, real quick, just stick to Drake May, brother. Don't be running your mouth about the Patriots defense, okay? Darius Butler said it to me. I didn't even want to have to respond. Stick to Drake May, Daniel, but you gotta, okay?
D-But's got my number if he needs to share some things with me.
Yeah, okay. Just letting you know.
Well, he's saying if you want to share things that are maybe certainly not going to be favored.
Patriots fans were not happy with my thought on the Patriots.
Which was unwarranted, but it's
not unwarranted. When we do a segment on what could get a team beat, and the team is a pretty impressive team, you're trying to find out, okay, what is something that you could do against this team to gain an advantage to beat them? My thought was, well, New England, while the best run defense in football, is in nickel. If I'm a team going against New England and I let them play nickel all game long and don't run it on them successfully, that's my fault.
Connor was on your side. I do appreciate you getting a chance to speak to the Patriots fans there, though, who are, I assume, because they're great shit talkers, which kind of like leads to it's not great that the Patriots are all the way back, that they're back just because a very good group of shit talking human beings now has a lot of reason to shit talk. So, Dan, you decided to live in the paint. Patriots fans going to go ahead and dunk on you.
Good news, Dan. They don't care about you anymore, Dan. So you don't have to worry about the Patriots fans.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah, I got another question.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Dan Orlovsky. Thank you, Dan. Stay stay safe out there. Dan, there's a truck coming, Dan. There's a truck coming, Dan. There's a truck coming, Dan. Yeah.
Can I get out? Can I get out?
No.
Stay connected. Stay connected with you, Merv.
Get him out. I can't watch it. I can't watch it. Dan, you focus on your driving. Jesus Christ.
Oh, no, we're good. 3, 2.
We're out of here. Get him off my screen. Get him off my screen. I don't want to see it. You see him. Goodbye. Get him out of here, please. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't like watching that stuff.
That's my least favorite thing of all time.
Side of the road. Kirk Herbstreit, legendary.
Yeah.
Let me find the bottom of the hill around a bend.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to stand outside, too, so we get a better view of this thing. So, Dan, get away from me, Dan. I don't want to see it. Dan, focus on driving, Dan.
What the hell?
Hang up on Dan
Someone
Orlovsky.
pull this guy over.
You know, a lot up there. Australia, they do not fuck around with the phone thing. They got cameras everywhere. And it's just like, well, people would say that's not great either. But they there's certainly argument, I guess, both ways for all these things. And
More cameras are better.
Keep the roads safe.
Yeah. There's certainly a lot. But they have cameras. So if you pull your phone out, it's an immediate, and they got everybody's license plate. Obviously, boom, bang, pals. They're not doing any of that. But there are some people who are extraordinarily bad at being on their phone while driving. And if you're stuck in a car with those people, you would like there to be a jail sentence maybe for people getting on their phone while driving. Also, motorcycle rider. I enjoy riding my bike with my wife. It's a good hobby. Now, Indiana as a whole, it's tough to ride in because we got potholes like actual the moon, like a lunar type craters out here. So it's not necessarily as enjoyable of a ride because you turn a corner all of a sudden and you're. Yeah. But on a bike, you would like everybody to not have their phones out because it's really hard to pay attention. But on that note, I'm not going to act like I try to wait for stop signs, red lights.
Bingo. Sure.
Because I would like to not be asshole driver, strictly. But boy, whenever there's people sitting at the bottom of a hill around a bend and you got 18-wheelers coming down and you're FaceTiming with them, it feels like every time they're dying. Kind of started to get that feeling with Dan there towards the end. More cars started coming on that.
All you do is swerve a little bit off the road and bam.
And on the internet, we've seen enough of those.
Yeah.
Because all you need is somebody on there. Just to the right. I'm okay. I'm on the far right side. There's no on-ramp anywhere.
No way, Dano's here.
Dan Orlovsky? Where? Patriots fans.
Which was unwarranted. I mean, the things he was saying were all valid. It was just, Dan Orlovsky, the quarterback guy, wants to talk about defense, and he just picked the Patriots defense. So Patriots people are as loud as possible. But what he was saying was all good football information.
Yeah, Dan Orlovsky is going to be well studied. He's also not going to say no to a producer telling him to say something about something.
No.
You think maybe this will get clipped and I'll get murdered for this? Never has come out of Dan Orlovsky's mouth.
Nope.
Dan Orlovsky says, you need a what about what? How many different determiners are there? Or is everybody going to know that this is the case? Sure.
Give me the stats.
That's what I thought.
I got you.
I can do it. The context of the situation was nobody heard it, Dan. Nobody heard it, Dan, but we appreciate Dan. Dan's shins are very calloused, and he steps right back in there every single time. All right, let's make some picks for tonight, Age. This has been an interesting one for me because of how much I love one particular team and how good they've been to us with the Buffalo Bills. And then I guess Texans have been great to us as well. So I like that the Bills are playing great. I like that the Bills are winning. I don't love that they're 6-point favorites down there in Houston against the number one defense in the league. So I will take the Houston Texans +6 tonight on Amazon Prime. And I do believe this is a Bills win. I think in the end, Josh Allen will win this game. But I think we're in for one, and I think there's a little bit of a game. There's a chance Josh Allen wins by 30. There's a chance. I've already walked through it enough times because I've been so confident about Houston +6 since the moment I woke up this morning. And I've certainly had to fade myself in there going, yeah, right. Why are you so confident in this? Sports books are going to get you. Then you look and it's like 77% are looking the other way. It's like, wait a minute, maybe I'm a shop all of a sudden. Maybe I woke up a shop this morning. Pat's a shop, do-do-do-do-do-do. Maybe a shop, do-do-do-do-do-do. Maybe a shop, do-do-do-do-do-do. 22%. Okay. So I felt like okay about it. And then I started seeing the other side. I'm like, well, why would I not? And it's like, well, they got Josh Allen. Okay. James Cook's a fucking monster, too. Let's not even get it twisted. Now, they potentially without Kincaid, right?
No Kincaid, no Curtis Samuel. Yeah, here it is. No
Gabe Davis, though.
What's that?
Me too.
Gabe Davis, back.
I love that. Look for Gabe Davis to get his feet in the paint tonight. I would assume that's going to be something that they're going to look to do. I love the Gabe Davis Buffalo Bills time. But, yeah, a lot of guys out, to your point. And then, obviously, for the Texans, C.J. Stroud out. So you got Dougie Davis-Mills, which is kind of the entire storyline. It's like you got a guy that not a lot of people really know about playing quarterback for a team that doesn't look like they have the best record. So now you got the Buffalo Bills coming down. Is that why 77% of the bets are on the Buffalo Bills, or they just think that the Texans aren't that good?
Yeah, it's probably because they just think the Texans aren't that good.
Bad record.
Yes, bad record, and they watched them. They had to kick a last-second field goal last week against the Titans to win 16-13, so the offense has been pretty bad all season long. The defense has carried them, and I assume they just, they see what the Bills did to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week in a big, primetime game that everybody was watching, so it's probably a lot of recency bias as well.
Just one touchdown win is 6-0.
Yeah.
Just win by 7. Am I going to Buffalo? Who do you like?
I am going Buffalo Bills, and I can get them at -5.5, right?
That is correct.
Oh, man. Am I fading myself right now?
You called Seattle versus the Rams perfectly this past
You're right,
weekend.
and I felt very good about it. I need to remember that.
You had Seattle +3.5, and you had the Rams with it.
Texans wearing all reds tonight, too. Look out.
Pretty cool.
That's,
Look
part
out.
of it.
Like the pants, too?
All reds.
Those look sweet.
What are you humming? Okay, we saw what you guys tried out on this year.
I didn't love that either.
Are they red pants? Are we sure?
You think it's going to be blue or black?
I feel like
Give me
they've
red.
done the
Give me
blue because the same color as the numbers. I feel like they've done before.
All red. All
Okay.
red, we've been
Okay.
told.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
These look pretty cool.
Is JJ leading them out?
Oh, is that true?
Should.
I don't know. Should we call JJ, see if he's
Who is? Is someone ringing a bell, or what do they do to start the game?
They don't do that. They play football.
They
Is it
shoot,
Speed?
they shoot a ball.
Speed doing it?
I don't
No.
think they should. He's
I
the-
need speeds in Cincinnati on Sunday.
Oh.
Speed is the
luck,
ruler
Connor.
of the jungle for the Bengals. Joey Burrow's return, potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe
And Speed ruling the jungle.
could he get a little scat back action on Sunday?
They should maybe put him out there at slot. They should think about putting him at slot.
Because Jamar's he spit on a guy right in his face. It was disgusting.
Yeah, a lot of people said that was the case. Here's the next ruler of the jungle I show you.
He should play wide out for the Bengals.
Keep living, Speed. Keep living, Speed. I hope he has to give a speech. Maybe let him give a speech.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Him calling out his chat while giving a speech to the ruler, to the entire jungle would be sick. There's no answer from Jedge, so we'll move on. I like the Texans +6 tonight. You like the Bills -5.5?
Correct.
All Reds change anything for you?
A little bit, but I'm
Yeah.
going to stick with it. I'm a Josh Allen guy. You know that. Oh. What was that going to be for?
You know what? I just wanted a little certainty. You know? But what I wasn't doing is I wasn't fucking.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There it
Tucking
is.
that chin.
That's hard to throw.
That was a front to back, not
hard,
a twist.
That's hard to throw like that. I don't know how you're supposed to. That's tough. I don't know if I'd be good at the quarterback camp.
You sure?
In.
You
That's
sure?
in.
Count it.
Yeah.
Texans +6.
Babe.
Takes reps.
Okay.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. I'll be in Eugene, Oregon tomorrow. Can't wait. AJ, safe travels over here. I appreciate the hell out of you. Let's enjoy this one tonight. Week 12 of the NFL season's kicking off. Hey, here we go. We're here.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Life is good. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team.
Team.
Goodbye.